Listen, if
It's
you
the
look
Trump
at the chart,
boom. It's the Trump boom. It's 20 something trillion of foreign investment. No one knows the right number. How can you fight that tape? 20 trillion. I don't even know what that means. 20 trillion.
you can't fight. I can't even wrap your head around. You start wrapping your head around 20 trillion.
Pete Najarian, wonderful. Kenny Carey, thanks to both of you. It could be 25 trillion. It could be 11 trillion. I don't know. It's still a big number. We'll take a break and we got some money in politics with Rich Lowry and Steve Moore coming up.
Pull up the app and listen to
Did you know you can help regrow cartilage in your joints, ligaments, connective tissue, and joints weaken with age? All because our natural production of a particular protein declines, leaving you vulnerable to injuries. Scientifically proven, this overlooked nutrient can help rebuild connective tissue, strengthen joints, and support mobility. Not having enough of this protein was once considered to be an irreversible step in the progression of joint pain. Until now, just go to getnativepath.com/bow and get up to 45% off today. GETNATIVEPATH.com/bow.
Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. Heroes who put their lives on the line for our country and our communities need your help now more than ever. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good in their honor. Never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices of this country's heroes and their families. Show support by donating $11 a month at T2T.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com. Now, here's your Central VA kickoff show.
Happy Football Saturday and welcome to the Central VA Flooring pregame show. I'm your host, Todd Tracy, and Saturday afternoon today, the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers are on the road to take on the John Handley Judges in the second round of the playoffs, known as the regional semifinals, as kickoff starts at 30 minutes. Excuse me. What can I say? Today is going to be really interesting. I mean, two evenly matched teams going against each other. The first time in program history they face each other. You got the John Handley Judges, who's coming off the win against Liberty Belton Central District, and both teams face their Central District foes in the first round. As John Handley come off a win against Liberty Belton 48-0, and as our Jefferson Forest Cavaliers is coming off a win against Glass 33-7. And that's without their starting quarterback, Peyton Jackson. So, what can I say about this match? It's going to be really interesting today. I think this is going to be a key matchup for both sides. I'll say John Handley really is good. I think the offense is averaging like 36 points per game, and like they've been holding their points under, I believe, like 12 points per game. Then right now, as our Jefferson Forest Cavaliers, I think it's going to be really tough for them today. As like I said, they're going to get. John Handley, I think.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm trying to
kind of like they don't know what they're gonna run. These guys expect what they see in the film and everything. I think this is gonna be really interesting. I think it's gonna be a really big test for the defense as well. The JS defense. I mean, you gotta think about it. They faced a team that have been averaging 36 points per game, and they've been holding their points under 10 points. Well, if you include the regular season, they've been holding their points literally under 10 points per game. So I think this is going to be a really big test for the defense. And I think it starts up front. If they want to win, they got to win the line of scrimmage. And I talked to Coach Cruz today. He said they're really fundamental sound. They're really big up front. So he says it's going to be a huge test for the defense today and how they will respond. But he said he's excited for the challenge. He believes that his players respond to the challenge, and it knows it's going to be good for him. It's going to show like how it's going to be. If you want to be a good team, a great team. If you want to move to the next round, it starts up front. And I believe that we was talking about. He did gave me some good quotes. I really believe like it's going to have to start up front. If they don't win up front, it's going to be a long day. I would say a long night. Now, if they win up front, I think it's going to be okay. They control the line of scrimmage. Now they can actually control the game. I mean, hopefully I believe that their quarterback Peyton Jackson will play today because I talked to him about that. He said he said him and Xander Cohen been sharing some reps so far this practice, and so it's really gonna be interesting how they go how it's gonna play off. He said for right now, Payne Jackson's good, but it's still certain. But right now, I believe that Payne Jackson may start today. I forgot to ask him that, but he said later on. But he said most of the time they've been sharing reps because he said Xander. He said nothing against Xander. He played great in the first round, especially his first time playing quarterback his first time playing quarterback, especially in the playoff. He said he did great. He said minus the snap issue in the beginning of the game, but he said he managed to control the game, manage the offense really great. So he said nothing against him. He did really great and stuff. So that's what I'm really excited about. So before we go to commercial, I have a chance to talk to John Handley Coach Smith, and our Jefferson Cavaliers Coach Cruz. I give his thought. Both will give the thoughts and intake about today's game. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. This is the Central VA Flooring pregame show.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right consult who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit. True health isn't about judgment, it's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry, we partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at crossroadsfamilydentistryva.com and call us today to schedule your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health.
Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
Warm weather means traveling. Hi, I'm Randy Trost from Trost Law with a couple of safety reminders. Always wear your seatbelt. Don't drive distracted or impaired. And remember, it's better to safely arrive a little later than being in an auto accident. Those things can make a big difference between a fun family trip or a painful alternative. At Trost Law, I hope you never need our services, but if you do, we're here to help you at 777-HURT or trostlaw.com.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Young adults face unique stresses and challenges more than ever. That's why the Forest Youth Athletic Association's mission is providing a safe arena where growing children can learn the rules and values that come from athletic competition. FYAA sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer foster a culture of fair play and sportsmanship while developing skills and character that last beyond playing the game. Visit forestyouth.org to register for a sport or to share your time and resources.
Considering buying life insurance? Then ask Andy, your local Erie family life agent. Andy Matthews has been selling life insurance for 33 years, right here in Central Virginia, and has been a great sponsor of JF Athletics. Many Virginia families have Erie Family Life, as part of their insurance portfolio. Look for the Andy Matthews Agency, located on Waterlick Road, right here locally, and not just an 800 number in some unknown office. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome to the Central VA Florida pregame show. As I said before, I'm your host, Todd Tracy. Now we're going to hear our Jefferson Forest Cavaliers head coach, Coach Cruz, as he gives thoughts and intake about tonight's game, knowing this is an important game. It's going to be evenly matched. He said you go expect the best out of both teams. He said it's all about who wants some more. So that's the main focus tonight. It's all about who wants some more. As I meant earlier, the winner between both teams will play against GW Danville as they beat Sharanda Warriors 41. The Sharanda Warriors 41-21 last night, and they'll have to travel at GW Danville to take on the GW Danville Eagles. So it's going to be really interesting tonight. Now here's Coach Cruz as he gives his thoughts and intake about tonight's matchup against today's game against the John Handley Judges. Here's Coach Cruz right now.
Todd Tracy here on the field with Jefferson Forest Cavaliers head coach. Coach Cruz, how you doing?
Doing good. Glad to be here, Todd.
Big win last Friday over your rival, Easy Glass, 33-7. Moving on to the next round. How thrilled were you with your players' performance, especially seeing Glass the second time this season?
Yeah, whenever you play a team twice, especially a team like Easy Glass that is as well coached as they are, you know it's always going to be tough, right? Because however that first game went, you can't carry any of that over into the second game. So that's the second time we've had that situation with Easy Glass since I've been here, where we played them in the regular season, beat them in the regular season, then had to see them again in the playoffs. The first time it happened, it was 2 years ago, and they came out here and they beat us on our home field. So, you know, we knew that going into this one. We kind of, gave that message to our team that, hey, just because things went well in the first game doesn't mean they're going to go well in the second game. To our kids' credit, I thought they prepared really, really well throughout the week, came out here and played really well on Friday.
What can you say about Xander's performance at quarterback, especially making his first start at quarterback in the playoff game? Were there any moments or decisions at Xander that stood out to you during that game?
Yeah, I mean, I cannot say enough good things about Xander Coleman in general. His quarterback this past week, even outside of that, throughout this entire year, he has been excellent for us offensively, defensively, and on special teams. He's got great energy every single Friday, and just a really, really phenomenal. That didn't change when he took over and played quarterback for us this past Friday. He got in there and managed the offense really, really well. Again, the procedural stuff, the things that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to football, but getting in and out of the huddle, getting plays called on the huddle, sidelines, communication, he was really good at all of that. And just kind of managing the game and staying on top of things. Had an issue early with a bad exchange between him and Cam Fox. I think there's a lot of Cam was sick last week, so he didn't get a ton of practice reps, and then that on top of that, Xander not getting a ton of reps at quarterback throughout the season because he had so many other roles. But outside of that one issue, I thought he did a really, really good job at that position, that quarterback position, of managing the game and making the plays that were there to make. And then even on that scramble where he got outside the pocket, threw the ball downfield to Fax into coverage. It's one of those plays you're like, oh, no, yes, right? It's like he's thrown into coverage, but he put it up for his guy to go make a play, and that's exactly what Fax did. So couldn't be more thrilled about the game that he played last Friday.
You guys on the road today to face John Handley. This is the first ever meeting between two programs. From what you've seen on film, what stands out to you about this team and what impressed you?
Yeah, I mean, they're a really, really quality football team. And truthfully, once you get into the playoffs, especially into the second round, that's all you're going to see from here on out is really, really quality, well-coached football teams, and that's exactly what you see when you go on the film and watch John Handley. They're good across the board. They're big up front. They're skill positions, discipline on defense. They have a plan of attack on offense. They know exactly what they're trying to do. You can tell they're well-coached up front with their blocking teams in the run game. They've got some great receivers on the outside that can make some plays when the ball's in the air. So they are certainly a formidable opponent, which, again, you get to this point in the season where you're playing in the second round of the playoffs. That's all you're going to see from here on out is good football teams, and John Handley is certainly no exception.
But John Handley averaging 36 points per game offense at home with their opponents under 30. What do you see that would be a tough challenge for your defense home tonight?
Yeah, I mean, again, they do a really good job. They're well coached up front on offense. They got a tight end fullback kind of alignment where they do a good job of establishing the run game by bringing guys into the box. And when they do that, they create some favorable matchups on the outside for some of their receivers who, again, are excellent players, put great job of going up and getting the football when it's in the air. And so certainly our defense, you know, they got a challenge in front of them, right? It's a good offense that executes well, has a great plan of attack, knows exactly what they're trying to do on each and every play. And so it's really important for our defense to kind of have the same mindset, right? To understand where they fit within their role on the defense, depending on whatever formation John Handley comes out in. They got to understand where the keys are, what their role is, and then go out and execute that role to the best of their ability and trust the guys next to you to execute their role. Whenever you get in trouble on defense is when you start trying to do a little too much. When you don't trust the guy next to you to do his job, you're worried about his job, and then all of a sudden you're not doing your job. And so it's just our guys going out, trusting each other, playing as hard as they possibly can, executing at the highest level possible.
Your football unit has given 2 blocks for PATs for back-to-back weeks. What's been the challenge protecting the kicks in these last several games, and what's the key for your special teams to move forward?
Yeah, and it's been a lot of different things. Even throughout the course of the year, mixed in some different long snappers over the course of the year to try and create some more consistency there. Mixed in some different holders, again, to try and create some more consistency there. And so when you get to this point in the season and you're having some struggles late in the year, it's one of those deals where you got to evaluate everything. That's exactly what we did. Start with protection, with what our protection schemes are, with what we are asking our guys to do up front and on the edges in protection. With our operation, from our long snapper to our holder and our kicker, we got out there and we evaluated all of it. And whatever changes needed to be made in order to get that unit cleaned up, that's exactly what we did.
Can you give me the stats about your quarterback, Peyton Jackson? Is he good to go for today's game?
Peyton's had a good week of practice. Him and Xander have kind of split reps throughout the week. Same situation as last week. We will go into this one and figure out, how is he feeling on Saturday. Having that extra day of rest, I think, is really beneficial in that regard. If he's good to go, he'll go. But if he's not, we have full confidence in Xander to go out there and execute the same.
Even if he's good to go, I know your team will be excited to have your leader back on the field.
Yeah, 100%. Again, taking nothing away from what Xander did last week. I'm thrilled about the way that he played and what he's done. But Peyton is a great season quarterback as well. And again, it's all those subtle things from an operational standpoint of being a coach on the field and the line of communication between him and I, and him understanding exactly what I'm trying to accomplish, plays that are getting called and where we're trying to attack, and all those different things. He does a great job of managing that. And that, not even talking about his play on the field, which has also been exceptional. And so certainly having him back into the fold potentially this Saturday is a big boost for our team.
Good luck, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a Here's more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly, because we believe and know that God saves lives through his word. Impact is a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ. We are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Right? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right console and truly listens to what you want for your home or business. And is doing the job right and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit VAFlooring.com. Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from simple fender benders to complex tractor-trailer cases. And we're ready to put our experience to work for you. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, just give us a call at 777-HURT or visit us at trostlaw.com.
As a privately owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives off volunteers. Volunteering with the FYAA ensures children throughout the Forest community have a local place to participate in sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer. FYAA depends on volunteers and needs your support, whether that's volunteering your time, money, resources, or a combination of your gifts. Visit forestyouth.org to learn more about how you can support FYAA.
You've heard how easy it is to get life insurance on the radio and internet. But what they don't say is you may not be getting the very best rate. If you've been needing to buy life insurance, why not buy it from your JF sponsor, Andy Matthews, located right here in Lynchburg? You'll get the truth about buying life insurance, and you will have an agent who can discuss options that are right for your family. Contact Andy Matthews, a licensed Erie Family Life agent. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance. Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
What if you knew that true health and wellness starts in your mouth? At Crossroads Family Dentistry in Forest, we believe your oral health is a window into your overall body health. Your mouth isn't a separate entry, it's a critical part of a complex system. That's why we take a co-diagnostic approach. We don't just tell you what you need, we show you using simple language and digital imaging. For a collaborative approach to your oral health, come see us at Crossroads Family Dentistry on 221 in Forest.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome back to the Central VA Flooring pregame show. As I said before, I'm your host, Todd Tracy. Now, next we have the John Handley coach, John Handley coach Smith, as he gives thoughts and intake about tonight's game, knowing how today's game, excuse me, everyone, knowing how important this game is. So next, here's Coach Smith.
Welcome to the Central VA Flooring pregame show. I'm Todd Tracy, joined by John Handley's head football coach, Coach Smith. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Congratulations on a shutout win over your district foe, Liberty Bilton, 48-0. Can you break down the game for us and talk about how your players executed, especially facing Liberty the second time this season?
Yeah, Liberty's a good football team. You know, they went on a hot streak there midway through the season and winning 5 games in a row. You know, most of their success came through the air. They have a great quarterback, big kid, strong arm, and a couple talented skill players. And so, you know, heading into that game, you know, we knew we were working against a pass-heavy offense. So, you know, we did a couple different things as far as coverages and pressures. For the most part, those things that, you know, ended up being pretty successful for us as we were able to generate 9 sacks. And then on the flip side of that, we were able to establish the ground game early on and keep blocking. So kind of went in our favor, you know.
With Virginia High School League rules for today's contest, you will have to pay to re-enter the game.
A team you guys haven't faced this year.
Concessions are being sold at the concession stands behind both the home and visitor bleachers.
Yeah, we don't. There's familiarity with Jefferson Forest. You know, we've never played them. I've never coached against them at any of the other schools that I've been at, and so, you know, there's unknowns there, you know, as far as that goes. You know, we've got the film exchange. We gave them our last 2 games, you know, working off of that. You know, they do different things offensively, you know, that pose some problems. They're really good at running the toss sweep play. It's just really wide. Something that we've seen, you know, at all this year or even last year. You know, they're a big team. They got a lot of size. They play really good defense. Got a really good outside linebacker. I got a ton of talented players, and so, you know, we have to prepare for an offense that we've never seen before, which is a challenge for us. But I think the kids have done a really good job trying to execute the game plan, so far this week. And then, defensively, we've seen some 40 fronts this year. And so, while the schematic of that defense is the same, the people aren't. And so that's something we're just going to have to adjust, in a game situation as far as matchups go.
I know you have been studying film on the Cavaliers. How impressed have you been with the play style, and what stands out the most to you about this Jefferson Forest team?
Well, I think, offensively, there's a lot of different weapons there. I don't know all the kids' names, but I can certainly tell you about their numbers. Number 7 is very fast and athletic player. He played in the wing, and he's played some quarterback for them as well. He definitely can go the distance. 15 is a running back, fullback. He's a big kid. He runs powerful. He runs behind his pads. He does a good job in the box, but he's also pretty good on the edge, too. I think he's very versatile athlete. And then 33, he plays a little bit of the wing. He's one of the outside linebackers. He gets involved a lot on the offensive side of the football as well. And so he does a good job of all the inside run stuff. And then they have a big tall receiver, number 5, who has the ability to go up and take the jump ball. Defensively, 58, defensive lineman, he really sticks out to you. He gets off the ball, does a lot of good things with his hands, very athletic for his size. And then again, 33 on the flip side, the outside linebacker, he covers a lot of ground there, and he doesn't miss a lot of tackles. Those two guys, on the defensive side really stick out. And their inside backers, 10 and 13, they do a great job of reading keys and finding flow. So we're very impressed with
Intelligence. This would be a good challenge for your offense going up against the Jefferson Forest defense that can hold opponents under 10 points per game. And how do you expect you guys to respond to that level of pressure?
Yeah. We've seen some decent defenses this year. And Jefferson Forest also has a great defense, and so it'll be a big challenge for us, particularly up front. That's where the football games are won and lost, on the O-line and D-line, and so it's a big challenge for our offensive line.
Ladies and gentlemen, all rise. We welcome the Handley
appropriately, and then that allows our skill players to have opportunities to make plays. But if our front can't handle their front, it'll be a difficult night for us. But if our front, has success, then I think we can find some success.
One more question before I let you go, Coach. Your 3rd season here at John Handley. How pleased have you been with your players continue buying into the program, upholding the high standards you set?
Yeah, I'm proud of our guys. Like these seniors, it's like you mentioned, it's the 3rd year that I've been able to be with them. So from where we started, to where we're at right now, it is night and day from a number of different perspectives. Not just football, but taking care of things in the classroom. Getting involved in student government. 3 of our seniors are involved in student government. Being a part of DECA and doing things there academically, and then just holistically buying into our culture and doing things year round as far as football is concerned. So I couldn't be more proud of this group of seniors.
Good luck, then, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Warm weather means traveling. Hi, I'm Randy Trost from Trost Law with a couple of safety reminders. Always wear your seatbelt. Don't drive distracted or impaired. And remember, it's better to safely arrive a little later than being in an auto accident. Those things can make a big difference between a fun family trip or a painful alternative. At Trost Law, I hope you never need our services, but if you do, we're here to help you at 777-HURT or trostlaw.com.
True health isn't about judgment. It's
in your
ministry. We partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to control your body movement? Visit us at 221 in Forest or at crossministry.com and call us today. Because you feel good about your smile, you feel good about your health.
Leaks on the offensive line, the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage, create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating. 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and support. Teamwork means the right what you want and need for your organization. Dedication is doing the job right, and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com. Stop by Central VA Flooring on Chicago Road. Experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
Number 25,
Coach Kennedy here. I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in West Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be a winning team for eternity, Impact Church. Here's more now, Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly, because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact is a hard-working mission to follow Christ. We are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends. We make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
As a privately-owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives off volunteers. Volunteering with the FYAA ensures children throughout the Forest community have a local place to participate in sports like football, volleyball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer. FYAA depends on volunteers and needs your support, whether that's volunteering your time, money, resources, or a combination of your gifts. Visit forestyouth.org to learn more about how you can support FYAA.
It's here, the Fall Spectacular at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford. Get 0% for 72 months on 2025 Ram 1500s, or take 10% off MSRP and save up to $13,500. Drive off today in a Wrangler Sport and save up to $6,000 off MSRP. Don't miss the Fall Spectacular sales event at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford, 1750 Independence Boulevard, MagicCityBedford.com. Financing with approved credit. See dealer for details. Offers end 10/31/25.
You've heard how easy it is to get life insurance on the radio and internet. But what they don't say is you may not be getting the very best rate. If you've been needing to buy life insurance, why not buy it from your JF sponsor, Andy Matthews, located right here in Lynchburg. You'll get the truth about buying life insurance, and you will have an agent who can discuss options that are right for your family. Contact Andy Matthews, a licensed Erie family life agent. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
I've got one extra stat on here to use for this. All right.
Check this out. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him. That is interesting right there.
All right, now that's all for the pregame for the Central VA pregame show. Central VA Florida pregame show. Now let's head to Winchester as Coach Rick Kinney and Ed Lane give you more JF football.
Yes, indeed. We appreciate you, Ty Tracy, for holding it down on the Central VA Flooring Kickoff Show. Welcome to a mostly cloudy, 53-degree and windy day here at John Handley High School in Winchester. It is a picture-perfect setting for high school football. There are no lights. That is correct, which is why we are playing on Saturday afternoon. The John Handley judges have already descended down the steps to the left of us from their athletic complex and enter the field. The JF Cavaliers are about to take the field, and in a very interesting gesture, the John Handley judges in their black pants with maroon and white stripes, maroon jerseys with white numerals, white helmets with a maroon J and H interwoven, metallic maroon at that, and a maroon face mask. They are cheering the JF Cavaliers, who are about to take the field, and the all-white pants, white jerseys, black helmets with white JF, and a red saber sword underneath, red face mask, and a black numerals with the red trim. Cavaliers about to take the field. John Handley is cheering the Cavaliers onto the field. Coach, this is among the many interesting aspects to today's Saturday afternoon VHSL 4A Class 4 Region D matchup between JF and John Handley.
Well, welcome to the second round of the playoffs, and I'm telling you what, the tension is already pretty hot right now because their cheering is more like taunting towards the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers as JF now runs onto the field with the judges being very, very aggressive, clapping and pointing at them as they go to the field. This game's already got playoff power going.
It has got that level of intensity to it. It has not lacked that. The winner of this game will be in the regional final on Black Friday in Danville, Virginia, taking on GW, who knocked off John Handley's biggest rival, and at 10-1, 7-1 in the Northwest District, outside of the loss to Kettle Run, the biggest contest John Handley got this year was a 14-7 decision that they won against the Sharando team that just lost to GW Danville last night. Coach JF, they made the long bus ride up early. They got here right around 11 a.m. They've had time to acclimate. We'll see how they start against the John Handley team that has plenty of size, plenty of speed, plenty of athleticism. Neither of these teams may be having the game-breaking athletes that we've seen in previous years, but it should be a fairly even contest, at least as we talk about it before the opening kick.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good matchup, and I think that we talked a little bit earlier that the key to the game for either team is who's going to win the game of the trenches, whose line offensively, defensively, whose line is going to be able to control the line of scrimmage, because that's going to open up things for the skill players. And so that is going to be a big key watching through this first quarter on whose front line is going to be able to dominate and control the other part.
Fairly windy. It is more of a left to right breeze here at John Handley High School. JF, they've traveled well as far as fan support. Obviously, John Handley packing out their own venue. JF won the toss, deferred their option in the second half. They'll be kicking from left to right, meaning the wind at their back, with Austin Walker approaching the football, teed up at the 40, and it's a bouncing squib kick fielded by the up back in the 34, far sideline 40, breaking a tackle up to the far side 45, and Zaquan Williams, the tight end and up back, gives John Handley good field position to start 3 yards from midfield.
Well, I tell you what, that was the squib kick went a little bit shorter than I think they wanted. So Handley starts off with really good field position here, almost up to the 50-yard line already with their offensive formation. They run what we just call it a 2-1. They got a tight end and a wing with one running back.
Duncan Hensler is the quarterback. Jameer Washington, over 1,000 yards, 1,400 to be exact, takes the initial carry and bangs into the back of his offensive line. He went hard into the back of Zaquan Williams, the tight end, as well as the left guard, Jaquan Offord, and bounced right down to the field turf for no gain.
Yeah, good job by the defense initially holding up those offensive line. They got no push, and the running back almost looked like his head was down. He ran straight back into the guard and just fell down without even being tackled by a JF player right there.
The senior Washington is the back to the left of junior quarterback Duncan Hensler. A two-receiver set, one to each side. Second down and 10, snap from the 46, looking left, floating left, and the ball is incomplete. Bouncing into the field turf at the JF 41. He was looking for Will Yoder, the over 1,000-yard receiver for John Handley. It's incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up for the judges.
Well, they were trying to run a little out route right there, and a good job by number 33 for JF. That was Stax Rowland getting out into the pass lane, and the quarterback really threw it a little bit wider than what he wanted to. And the receiver, number 7, top receiver on their team, Will Yoder, not able to get to that ball.
They got Lucas Johnson matched up on Yoder. He's down to the left side numbers. 3rd down and 10, 11-13 to go in the first quarter. Hensler calls for and takes the shotgun snap, looks left, floats left, ball caught in stride. JF 45 spinning back there, brought down, but it looks like it's enough for either a first down or a 4th and inches, depending on the spot.
Yeah, that's going to be 4th and short, but they ran a backside. They ran a post route, and the corner was pretty deep, and the safety not able to get over there, and that's going to put it 4th and 1.
Ball was caught by the H-back Chase Hobbs, who pulled that one in. Christian Dings, the wide receiver, who pulled that in, thrown a little bit behind him. 4th and 1 for John Handley. First big tension-filled play of the game. Can Jake Smith's judges get a first down and keep the drive alive in JF territory? Or will JT Cruz's Cavaliers bow up? Snap, taken, handoff Washington. Stutter steps off the right side, leans forward after the initial contact for a first down. Met around the line of scrimmage, but got an extra yard or two, and it's enough off the right side of the offensive line to give the Judges the game's first down.
Yeah, a little inside run right there. They got just enough push to get them that first down right now as they move into JF territory, and they're trying to get the crowd and everybody pumped up here on this first series and this first drive with JF sitting in there 4-3 defense. I'm sorry, 4-4 defense right here trying to get to the quarterback.
About 2 minutes into this opening quarter, scoreless opening drive of the game. After the Judges' first down, flags come flying in, and we await to see if it was an offsides or a false start. And it's going to be a false start, so John Handley goes back 5 yards. For a predominantly passing offense, it may not be the worst thing in the world, but still, for JF, you'll take it.
Yeah, and the Judges have a pretty big-sized line right here, and their splits are very, very small. They are not really spreading out that front tackle to tackle, but again, they have a power side. They have a tight end and a wing, which they consider their dominant run side, but they also have 2 split outs in their formation.
Ball snapped to the JF 48 on 1st and 15 after the false start. Hensler calls for it, gives it to Washington, cuts left side into the arms of Fax Rowland in the 35. Bear hugs him down to the 44. He gained 4, 2nd and 11 coming up.
Yeah, and there it was. That was basically they're running almost a zone look play back to that strong side right there. And the running back was able to get through initially through the line of scrimmage, but Fax Rowland came up quick and be able to put a good tackle down on him, put him in 2nd and long right here.
One of the Handley assistants had to go out and get the towel for Jameer Washington, the running back who discarded it after the 4-yard run. Duncan Hensler calls for the shotgun snap against the 4-man JF front. Play fake, floats it down the left side. Once Yoder tries to find him in coverage, grabs it, but he's out of bounds at the JF 15. Could not get a foot in bound. He was in lockstep with Gabe Barnett, so 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, I tell you what, that is their play right there. That is the combination for the Judges. Number 10, Duncan Hensler throwing to number 7, Yoder. He loves throwing that deep ball, and that time it was a little bit too far outside. Even though Yoder made the catch, they put a shot at it.
So we'll see what John Handley does now on 3rd and 11 at the JF 44. 8:56 to go. Opening drive of the first quarter. Snap, handoff, give to Washington. Once the right side of the line, tries to turn the corner, and the ball stays in his arms. It looked like it popped out, but it was after the play. He's brought down at the 40, gained 4. It'll bring up 4th down and about 7.
Yeah, not much there on that play. And again, that puts them in 4th and long, and they are changing up personnel here. It looks like they're going to go ahead and punt it away. And it looks like quarterback is also their punter.
Duncan Hensler is. Obviously, that gives you something to consider as far as the potential for a fake punt. Charleston Harris standing back on the left side hash mark at the JF 10, fielding it 10 yards from the Impact Church end zone. High snap. Hensler pulls it down, right leg into it. High kick, fair catch called for and made at the 1 by Harris. Not the move you want. He looked at the referee as soon as he caught it and kind of gave the, oh my goodness, look, because if he let it go, it's probably into the Impact Church end zone. And instead of starting at the 20, the Cavaliers start deep in their own territory.
Wow, that was a big error right there. That is not what you wanted. Charleston Harris with a huge mental error. Fair catching that ball literally on about the 2-yard line, which would have easily went into end zone. They would have started out at the 20. So they had their backs against the wall early right here on their first possession.
JF had a 99-yard touchdown drive against EC Glass last week. It'll obviously be harder against John Handley. Peyton Jackson back at quarterback after the shoulder injury a couple of weeks ago. Handoff Fox breaks through the line up to the 5, follows the left side of the line to the 7, where he keeps the legs churning and at least enough room for the Cavaliers to breathe. 5-yard collection for Cam Fox. And number 5 also was on the tackle, the safety, Gavin Williams. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Well, hey, that's a great run coming out. You cut them out of the shadow of your own end zone right there. They got a good little push up the middle, and we're able to get some good yardage to get them out a little bit of pressure from that close 2-yard line.
Fox again, the back. He's to the right of Jackson. Cavaliers with two wings. One of them, Jack Lee, goes in motion. Misdirection handoff. Rolling. 10, 15, 20. Breaks in the clear. Left side 30. Breaks the tackle there. Follows left side blockers 40. Past midfield. Dragging Judges defenders inside the Handley 40. Down to the 38. Thax Rowland not only gets JF out of their own territory, he gets them into John Handley territory on that big run.
Wow, what a huge, great play right there. Thax Rowland on the wing counter right there. And again, JF Handley practicing against that in the pregame. They knew it was coming at them, and they still couldn't stop it as Thax Rowland broke through the second level and just turned it up the sideline.
Big run for JF. They now have a chance to move even further towards the Impact Church end zone. They're working left to right. 7:18 in the first quarter. Snap. Keeper Jackson himself follows the interior of the line down to about the 45. We'll call it a gain of 3. Down to the 35. We'll call it a gain of 3 for 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Peyton Jackson taking that one himself right there. Following his blocker up the middle right there. Cam Fox helped him get 3 yards on that. Good little run right there. And again, the Judges defensively are looking like they're sitting in a 4-3 defense.
Snap coming up for JF. John Handley jump, but not into the neutral zone. This time it's a handoff left side. Barnett 30 follows left side numbers down to the 25. Tripped up at the 23. He collects 12, and the Cavaliers have their second first down of the game.
Well, they come back with the exact same play they just ran with Thax Rowland. This time it was Gabe Barnett taking that for a huge first down as they are pushed in the red zone already after only 4 plays.
JF moving the ball positively so far with their yardage. 4 runs, 4 positive yardage runs for the Cavaliers, including gains of 12 and 45, if my math is correct, on the big Thax Rowland run. This time it's a handoff. Fox, left side line, inside the 20, into the shallow red zone, brought down around the 18. He picks up 5 more, and JF sets up 2nd and 5.
Well, I tell you what we're seeing right now is we're seeing the offensive line getting some movement against this Judges front 4. The Judge front 4, they have the 2 defensive tackles in a down position, but both defensive ends are in stand-up positions. And so far now, the JF Cavaliers have been able to get some good blocking and establish the run in this first series.
Clock under 5:45 to go in the first quarter. It's scoreless. JF first drive. Fake handoff. Jackson keeps it himself into the teeth of the Judges' defense, but the good blocking got him down to the 15, picked up 3.
Yeah, again, that's the counterplay to the rocket sweep right there. They had the rocket sweep motion coming back over the top, and they were able to run that back down.
So 3rd down and 2 for JF. Ball is going to be lined up right at the 15-yard line on the left hash mark, far side of the field from where we are, as the Cavaliers are working left to right. 5:10 and counting down in the scoreless opening quarter. Snap, this time it's a give off to Fox. Hit in the backfield, blasted. Took a moment to get the handoff off, and that was enough to allow Josiah Jackson, the captain and senior, to come in and hit him for a loss of 1.
Well, I tell you what, they're starting to bring some pressure from the linebacker position. That was a full-out blitz from the middle right there, number 20, JoJo Johnson sneaking up towards the line, and he was coming the whole way.
4th down and 3. Cavaliers need to get to the Handley 13. They'll snap it left hash mark at the 16. Jackson looks back to the sideline after sending the man in motion. There's 15 on the play clock and 4:30 on the game clock in the first quarter. Snap, Jackson fakes the handoff, keeps himself left side 10, 5, tries to stay in bounds, cannot quite get to the Impact Church end zone, but he's wrestled out of bounds at the 1, and it's a 1st and goal for JF on the 15-yard Peyton Jackson left end around QB run.
Wow, what a great little 4th down play right there. They had the motion come over like they were just trying to get the Judge to jump off sides, but then they went ahead and snapped it, and they ran back to the weak side where they had him outnumbered.
Cavaliers quickly break the huddle and approach the line of scrimmage. This is mano-a-mano time. Barnett lines up on the left wing, Johnson on the right. Fox now to the right of Jackson, the QB, and he'll get the handoff, barreling off the right side and into the Impact Church end zone for the JF touchdown.
There you go. The Cavaliers taking first blood in this game with a drive for the ages from the 2-yard line all the way down the field into the Judges' end zone for the score.
It's worth noting, by the way, as JF lines up Without looking at the 2-point conversion try from the muddle huddle, Jonas Howard is now on to attempt the extra point for Jefferson Forest. He was the JV kicker, and they're going to give him a crack at it after some field goal and extra point challenges last week. This time, snap, hold is down, so is the kick, and it's up and through the uprights.
Great job right there, having a new kicker coming in the playoffs. What a move by Coach Cruz, making that change to try to fix that.
Cavaliers defense held. They got the ball back. They went 98 yards. For the second time in 2 weeks, they've gone 98 or 99 yards. A 7-0 JF lead, 4:16 to go in the opening quarter.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost.
9 plays, 99. It was 98. It started
for over 4 decades.
And that
Since
rolling one was 43
auto
yards, right?
accidents
If my math
and
is right.
Cases ranging
It was from the 7. It was 50.
Tractor trailer cases.
You're right,
We're ready
because
to
7
put
would make it
work for you.
43.
We hope you never
plus
need our
12 is
services, but if you
55.
do, just give us a call at
58?
777
Okay.
or visit us at trostlaw.com.
I'll trust you. 58
Considering
yards.
buying life insurance? Then ask Andy, your local Erie Family Life
You do
agent.
your job.
Andy Matthews has been selling life insurance for 33 years right here in Central Virginia and has been a great sponsor of JF Athletics. Many Virginia families have Erie Family Life as part of their insurance portfolio. Look for the Andy Matthews Agency located on Waterlick Road right here locally, and not just an 800 number in some unknown office. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by Coach Paul.
Up back, taking it and pushed out of bounds at the JF 30, but there is a flag as the up back Gavin Williams fielded a much better Austin Walker squib kick at about the 35, but there's a flag back near the 35 in the neighborhood of a Handley hold or a block in the back. And the JF Cavaliers predictably are signaling that's what the call is. 7-0 JF. They just scored a touchdown on the Cam Fox 1-yard touchdown run on a 98-yard drive. 7-0 JF lead, 4:06 to go first quarter.
Yeah, so we got flags on both sides. We'll have to see what that comes out to. If it's going to be a
procedure penalty maybe on JF on the kick. And then for Handley, it may be a block in the back or a hold on the return. If that's the case, it would probably necessitate a re-kick.
Yeah, but by the way, that was a great return right there by the judge to get that ball down there.
And they've got unsportsmanlike conduct on JF. And is that it? That's it.
Wow.
Unsportsmanlike.
Well, that'll be a half a distance to the goal penalty. And all of a sudden, from the 29 to the 14 go the judges. JF sideline does not seem very pleased with that call. And now we're getting an explanation. It is a sideline warning on the judges. So they get a sideline warning. JF, I don't know if they said something or did anything. It was thrown back toward their end of the field. But JF gets a penalty, and so does Handley. But Handley's is a warning. JF's is not. Read into that what you will.
Well, what a tough break right there. Giving them up the big return and the penalty puts the judges in great field position.
They snap it left hash mark at the 14. Washington tries to the corner of the turn the corner at the 10. Does. He's finally undercut by Gabe Barnett at around the 5. 2nd and 1 from the 5 for Handley. They're knocking on the door of tying this game up as the clock goes under 4 minutes in the opening quarter.
Jamar Washington able to finally find some space right there. He bounced it outside, and there was nobody there as he turned it up the sideline for a big gain all the way down now, knocking on the end zone.
Jameer Washington has had over 1,400 yards rushing this year. He's in the backfield, gets ready, and maybe gets another carry from Duncan Ensor. He does. Hit, knocked down by Bryson Spano, then falls back to the line of scrimmage. It'll set up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, great job right there by number 10, Bryson Spano, on a blitz from his inside linebacker position, was able to get through and make contact in the back, and luckily Washington able to fall forward back to the line of scrimmage.
So Handley now has it, 2nd down and goal from the 3. Ball snapped, a couple shades in from that left hash mark. This time another handoff. Washington follows blockers left side to the H, and Handley in the Impact Church end zone. And we're an extra point away from a tie game.
Well, Washington again, same exact play. It's really just an outside zone run to the power side and able to get into the end zone for their touchdown and the extra point away from tying up the Cavaliers.
On to attempt the point after Joshua Newcomb, who will get ready to attempt it. And Duncan Hensler, who is the quarterback, is the holder. Just keep that in mind for a potential fake, although I doubt we would see it with a chance to tie this game up. Hensler calls for the snap. It's good. So is the kick. And we have a tie game. 7-all, 3:24 to go in the first quarter of JF Cavalier football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
As a privately owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives on volunteers. Volunteering with
That
the
was not
FYAA
not a way you
children
want to give the momentum away that quick.
Sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball,
Special teams have been the bugaboo for
They really have. They really have. The whole kickoff thing, the squib.
Sport, whether that's volunteering your
To
time.
me, you got to squib it at least 40 yards. I mean, they shouldn't be picking up a squib until at least the 20.
True health isn't about judgment. It's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry, we partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at CrossroadsDentistryVA.com and call us today to schedule your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health. This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Coleman fields the kick at the 10, up to the 25, tries to cut out to the near side, and he stood up at about the 27. Decent field position for Jefferson Forest. It's now a tie game, 3:17 left in the opening quarter. Jefferson Forest at John Handley, which is where we are, obviously, today. Special teams coach, it's kind of been the differentiator so far. JF, they moved the ball fairly effectively, but you had Charleston Harris calling for and fielding a fair catch at his own 2, and then 2 squib kicks from Austin Walker have not gone quite the desired distance. And on the second one, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct on JF that tacked on 15 yards and gift wrapped the John Handley touchdown on a drive that started 14 yards from the impact church end zone.
Yeah, not a good way to get your momentum taken away from you with that.
In motion, Barnett. Coleman on the in around left side. Looks to turn the corner, cannot quite do it. He's up to about the 30. Gains maybe 3 for JF. We'll call it 2. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, short gain again. Coach Cruz is liking that wing counter, and I got a late flag right there.
Carson Green was at the bottom of that, and the applause of Handley indicates a hold on Jefferson Forest.
Well, I tell you, the yellow flags right now are affecting the Cavaliers. That play right there, big loss. Even though they get a redown now, it's 2nd and 20. Or first and 20.
First down and 20 from the 18. Actually, it'll be first down and 18 from the 20 because that's spot of the foul flag. Jackson to work out of the shotgun now with the man in motion, Coleman. Pitch play to him, turns the corner right side, back to the 20. Can't really do much more there. He's wrestled down in the open field, and a good Handley open field tackle made by the defensive tackle, Tyler Davis. 2nd and 18 coming up.
Well, that's the first time we've seen the rocket sweep over the top. They tried to get Xander Coleman to the outside, but a good job by the corner being able to come up and take out one of the blockers right there. Number 3, Brown, for the judges, was able to kind of slow him down and allowed some help on that sweep.
One right out. Jack Lee split to the wide left side on the hash mark. 2 slot backs, Barnett and Coleman, and it's Coleman in motion right to left. Jackson has it, drops back, floats past to Coleman at the 10, tries to get out of the tackle, cannot. Brought down at about the 14. That's a loss of 5, and JF's going to be set up with 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Jackson looking to throw into the flats, but it looked like he had a receiver down the seam that he just could not find him, and he took the sure pass out to Xander, but that was actually a tackle for a loss. Good job by the judges defensively, having everybody covered.
Trent Gomez, the senior captain linebacker, came up and snuffed that out, and now it'll be 3rd down and 24 from their own 14 for JF. What does JT Cruz dial up here? Deep in their own territory, 1:22 to go, tied 7-all in the first quarter. Jackson snap, floats it left side, dropped by Jack Lee at the 30. Would not have been enough for a first down, but there's a flag that comes in, and there's actually 2. There's one back near the line of scrimmage and one near the sideline.
Wow, we are seeing a lot of yellow flags early in this game. Coming from two separate officials here on two different sides of the field.
And it's going to be an illegal shift on JF. And is there another flag?
Illegal procedure call.
And that's all that it will be. That's a little peculiar. So they basically picked up the flag thrown on the JF sideline. Some head-scratching officiating late into this first quarter. We've seen a couple of those. 1:16 to go in the opening quarter. We're tied at 7. JF, though, about to punt the ball back to John Handley. You'd have to presume they'll get good field position. And Gavin Williams, who's a good returner. We saw that on the last kickoff return. He's standing back at the Handley 45-yard line. Left foot goes into it. Judson Lynn has it. It'll take a bounce, bobbled by Williams at the 50, and he has to fall on it there. So probably the best case scenario for JF on the punt. It's a 36-yard net punt.
Well, I tell you what, that last series for JF was not what Coach Cruz wanted. Besides the penalty, the defense really stiffened up for the judges right there. Not able to get anything positive going yardage-wise. And now they punted away, and Handley is, again, good field position right at 50.
They'll actually mark it back at the Handley 49 off the right hash mark. Not too far from the top of the J and JH. They're interwoven at midfield in maroon and white. Snap, Hensler takes it, and the handoff to Zamir Washington. Tries to turn the corner, hit Luke Johnson. Washington powers back to the line of scrimmage. That's all he could get. And the clock will go under a minute to go, and we'll have 2nd and 10.
Yeah, another. They've been liking that play right there with number 1, Washington, just running the zone to the power side. That's just a power inside, a power zone. And he's just looking for the first crease, and he bounced it like he did for the touchdown. But that time, nowhere to go, and they wrapped him up.
Clock goes under 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. If it's a run play, it might be the final one of the opening stanza. We're tied at 7. Handley ball snapped just shy of midfield. Calling for it, left hash mark, bobbling it. Hensler has to pick it up, now take off to the left side. Floats it across his body, and it's picked off by Jack Lee at the 40. Slides at the 45 after a quick return, and that was a disaster play written all over it.
Wow, what a mistake right there by Hensler, the quarterback for the judges. He drops the snap, and then in struggling, sprints out and decides just to throw it down the field, and there was number 5, Jack Lee, playing middle field, just grabbed it for the easy interception.
You know, that was not the best throw we've seen. The wiser move might have been just to throw it out of bounds. It is a bang-bang play, and when it hits the turf, your mind kind of goes to worst-case scenario, but that could be a big momentum break for the Cavaliers.
Oh, what a huge boost right here. Now JF needs to settle down, get that last drive out of their mind, and go back to attacking right here with their offensive run inside.
1st down and 10 from their own 47 after the Jack Lee interception. Snap, handoff, Barnett breaks a tackle at the 50, runs into a couple of Handley defenders at their 48, but he picks up 5 on what's going to be the final play of the opening quarter. Clock will wind down. Nobody's going to have a chance to get huddled up at all as we have a 7-all game as we reach the end of the first quarter on Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by Troslaw.com.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community.
That's a throw we'd like to have
Teamwork
back.
means the right console who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right, and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit CentralVAFlooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication.
I'm surprised you don't work on that and have like to throw it out of bounds. Because if you're out of the pocket and you just chuck it downfield, all it has to be is pass the line of scrimmage.
Smith Plumbing and Heating
If you're out of
knows
the
leaks at
pocket,
your home
and
or
it's not
business
good.
create problems too. Building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by Troslaw.com.
Teams looking into the field, so JF to start the second quarter and throughout the frame will now work into the wind from right to left here at John Handley High School. We're tied at 7 as we begin the second quarter. And a snap and a give to Fox, tries to get out of the tackle, lunges back to the line of scrimmage, Flags come in. Looks like this may be an illegal formation on JF.
Yep. Again, JF is making some errors right here. They need to stop getting penalties and hurting themselves by losing yardage right there. And again, what the judges are starting to do is their inside linebacker, their captain, number 20, JoJo Johnson. Now they are really starting to sneak him up and try to shoot him on middle blitzes.
And it goes from 2nd down and 4, and whatever that play would have materialized into to 2nd down and 9, as JF will snap it back at the 48. Actually, it'll be 2nd down and, we'll call it 2nd down and 8 for JF. Original line of scrimmage was the 46 after the Jack Lee, 47 after the Lee interception. So it is 2nd and 9. I stand corrected. JF getting ready to snap it. Clock already moving here in this second quarter. Peyton Jackson calls for the shotgun snap. 2 receivers lined up to the left side. Brooks, the deeper wide receiver, out to the left side hash mark. Snap, Jackson takes it, pitch play, Johnson left side, 50, dives into Handley territory, down to about the 47 as he's brought down by Will Yoder, the cornerback who came up in support, and it'll bring up 3rd in about 5.
Yeah, good, decent little run right there. They were able to actually get that rocket sweep off. He had to cut back. He had a little bit of a run lane, but a pretty good job by the corner coming up and making that safety coming up, making that tackle.
So Cavaliers are still huddled up. Clock's going to go under 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. We're tied at 7. JF at John Handley. Cavaliers need to get to the Handley 43. They'll snap it off the left hash mark at the Handley 48. Tie game at 7, all been fairly even, penalty ridden against JF. Pitch play to Barnett, tries to throw the corner, cannot. Wrapped up in the backfield, Yoder brings him down. There's a late flag that comes in. We'll see what this is about.
Well, they're going to call a block in the back. A block in the back against JF right there. So,
and if you're Handley, you might take this and take away the idea of JF thinking about going for it on a 4th and more manageable. And it's going to be a personal foul against JF instead of a block in the back. So that goes from being a 10-yard penalty to a 15-yard penalty.
Jefferson Forest.
And we're waiting to see if Handley accepts or declines.
Again, we're seeing a lot of yellow flags right here in this game that are affecting what JF has been able to do.
And the Cavaliers will send on Judson Lynn and the punting unit.
Well, missed opportunity on that interception now. Not being able to establish the offense and move the ball. They are now having to punt the ball away after a couple penalties.
10:25 left. Clock is working down. Lynn standing back at the 35. Special teams has gone the way of Handley so far. Judson Lynn left foot into it. It's a good kick. It's a high spiraling kick. Fielded to the 20 over on the near side. Williams turns the corner 30. He's wrestled out of bounds at the 35. Is it a face mask? Is it a block in the back? If it's close, JF's going to get flagged for it. You almost have to accept that reality, as there have been a high volume of flags that have been thrown in the early portion of this.
Yeah, they had 2 different flags come in again. I don't know if they saw the same thing.
And it might be one for a block in the back, and the other judge may have thrown it for a personal foul. Nope, just a hold on John Handley. So flags have been an issue for JF. Now it's Handley's turn to get it on the laundry parade.
Well, that backs them up right there, and defense again takes over right here. Both teams playing fairly good chess match right here, back and forth after each getting an early touchdown. They're trying to settle into their game plan.
Dingus split out wide to the left side, Yoder to the right. Snap, handoff, Washington takes it into the heart of the JF defense. There's no traction there. Might even have lost a couple of yards. We'll call it a loss of 1.
Well, I tell you what, JF has done their job shutting down that zone run right there out of the 1 back. Again, the Judgers are in a 2-1 offense. They have a tight end in the wing, which establishes their power side with 1 running back, and they just really have been running a lot of zone with that 1 back.
Liam Hogan and Slade Kazee, the defensive tackles, were in on that stop. So it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Judges at their 22. We're tied at 7, 9:30 and counting down in the second quarter. And the snap coming from their own 22 for Handley. Working left to right with the wind at their back. More flags come in as whistles are blown before the snap, and there'll be a false start coming up on Handley.
Well, that looked like a play-action play right there. It's looking like Handley's wanting to try to go to the air right here, and they're definitely going to be thinking about that after another 5 yards are tacked on in the negative for the judges.
We're not as familiar with this officiating crew. Early on, it kind of felt like the flags may have been going against JF. Now they've been going against Handley, and if that's the case, it often means this is just a tighter officiating crew where any little thing that's off, they're going to regulate, maybe appropriately since we're at the home of the judges. So it'll be 2nd and 16 from their own 17 for John Handley. Hensler, the junior signal caller, calls for it, and another flag comes in, and I think it'll be a delay of game as the play clock got down to double zeros, and it does, and now it'll back them up to 2nd and 21.
Wow. Well, I tell you, this is going to put them in a position where they want to put the ball up in the air to number 7, Will Yoder right there. He is looking for him to come down the sideline right here and do one of his deep routes.
He has been their go-to deep wide receiver. By and large, it's been Gabe Barnett who has been isolated against him in coverage with Xander Coleman over on the other side against Christian Dingus. And right now we'll see if Yoder is the recipient of the pass. No, yep, he might be. It's a float play across the middle. Ball is incomplete. Actually wanted Zaquan Williams, the tight end. Yoder might have had a step, although he had help from Xander Coleman on the back end of that. It's incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 21.
Well, that was they ran the play action in the backfield, and then what they had was Hensler did a little bit of a sprint out, and he was looking for his tight end and overthrew him. I don't know if there was a lot of traffic in that route, so it probably was good that he overthrew it. It may have been intercepted.
It could have been. It was thrown into not quite double coverage. 2 up in front of Zaquan Williams, the tight end, a little high, and overthrows actually in that spot were good. 5 on the play clock. Hensler calls for the snap, takes it, looks for Yoder, wants to float it down the left sideline. A little bit of a push-off, and a nice job by Barnett breaking it up in the last second as number 2 for JF, Gabe Barnett, got his arms in and knocked the ball away.
Wow, there it was. That's what they were going for. That's their bread and butter, to get the ball downfield, is putting it up in the air and having Yoder be able to run under it. And he had a pretty good position. He really played the body position pretty well, but great job also in coverage. Barnett able to shut that down.
Charleston Harris is going to stand back at his own, actually at the Handley 43. Duncan Hensler, who is the quarterback, also calling for the punt. He's standing at the goal line in front of the inn in Handley, and he puts his right leg into it. It's not particularly deep. It'll take a bounce at the 40. It is a Handley roll and actually rolls out of bounds right around the midfield stripe, and that's exactly where it goes out at the 50-yard line. And yet again, flags are thrown on the play.
Wow. We'll see what happens, who they're put this against.
If it's JF, you might want to re-kick. If it's Handley, you just tack it on, I would think, because that was a decent punt, and it is against JF. A hold, and they'll back them up at the end of the play to their own 40 where they'll start. Tie ball game, 7-7. JF and John Handley, both teams scored in the early portion of the first quarter. JF on a 98-yard drive, backed up deep in their own territory, and Handley answered on a short field after an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty tacked on to a good punt return or good kickoff return.
Well, offensively, both teams have gone stagnant. A lot of that is due to the fact they are making a lot of mistakes, getting the yellow flag thrown at them and really hurting any kind of momentum offensively to establish themselves.
Yeah, it's been pretty good defense, but the offensive penalties have also played a factor in why we have a 7-7 game between Jefferson Forest and John Handley. 8:39 left here in the first half. Cavaliers have the ball back, working right to left at their own 40s where they'll take it after the 10-yard holding penalty on the punt return. Jackson calls for the snap. Give, left side, Barnett, hitting the backfield, lunges up to about the 42. He's brought down by JoJo Johnson. We've called the senior captain's name quite a bit, and we do it again there. He had some help from defensive end Jalen Washington.
Again, wing counter right there, and the front four for the judges have started to do a little better job trying to figure out this offense and trying to slow down some of these run plays between the tackles, and that only a short 2-yard gain by Gabe Barnett on the wing counter.
Working clock's going to approach the 8-minute mark here in the first half as there's 8:05 and 14 on the play clock. Jackson will call for the shotgun snap at under 8. It's Johnson in motion. Jackson fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. 45 into the clear at the 50. First down into Handley territory. Drags defenders from the 45 down to the 43. That's the type of run that JF likes to see. Power running, and it's a first down.
Well, I tell you what, that was a perfect play right there. They had to play. They had the rocket motion. They had the blitzing linebacker coming up a different gap from the gap that Peyton Jackson hit the hole in, and that's why it was wide open for a huge run. Big momentum boost right there.
Clock at 7:37. A beautiful mark here in the second quarter. Not so beautiful in terms of the penalties. It's JF 7, John Handley 7. Cavaliers are marching into Judges territory. They'll snap it 1st and 10. Middle of the field at the Handley 43, working right to left. Judges with a 5-man front, 3 down lineman. Handoff Fox off the right side of the line. Gets down to about the 41 before he's pushed back. Picks up 2, and both first downs on this drive for JF and netted 2. Not perfect, but it's enough to where you're not in negative yardage territory either and can set up more options on the second down menu.
Yeah, Cam Fox on that inside run right there is able to push forward for about 2 yards before being picked up by linebacker number 2 for the Judges, Gomez. Again, another one of the captains. They got a lot of captain defensive linebackers with a lot of experience right there trying to make those tackles.
It'll be snapped from the Handley 41, not too far off the right hash mark. A handoff to Coleman out of the backfield, breaks into the 40 and down to about the 38. Good run as Xander Coleman got that. Nope, Gabe Barnett on that carry. Correction. Picked up 3 more, 3rd and 5, and what's probably 4-down territory for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, 3rd and 5. I'm definitely thinking Coach Cruz is thinking he's got 2 plays here to get these couple 5 yards right here. And again, that can only happen. They got to get positive yards on this 3rd down. They cannot have a negative play. They cannot have a penalty.
JF will snap it at the John Handley 38. We're tied at 7. Clock's going to go under 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter of this VHSL second round and region semifinal matchup. Snap. Jackson has it, follows the right side of the line, keeps the legs churning down to the 36, maybe the 35. Not quite what JF wanted on that 3rd down run, and they'll have a 4th down decision coming up.
Yeah, they got 2 of their 5. It looks like it's a full 3 yards here on this 4th down. What does Coach Cruz have up his sleeve right now? They just brought in Xander, I think, to replace Jackson on this play. Oh, no, he's back in.
Nope, they brings it. Peyton Jackson back in from the sideline. Clock's going to tick under 5:20 to go as the Cavaliers break the huddle and face a more raucous John Handley crowd on 4th down. Handley, a 4-man front, 2 down linemen, 2 edges that are standing up and creeping up with a couple of linebackers. Jackson looking to throw. Johnson pressures him. It's incomplete. Wanted Xander Coleman. He's knocked down. They say there's no flag, and it's a turnover on downs.
Well, Coach Cruz looking to put it into air on that 4th and 3 right there. He's trying to find Xander Coleman in the flats. He was open maybe a little bit. It would have had to been a really good throw, but again, the pressure coming from inside blitzing. Number 20, JoJo Johnson bringing the pressure from up the middle to make that ball an incomplete.
Been a fairly even ball game here, as you'd expect from the 2-seed John Handley against the 3-seed Jefferson Forest. We're tied at 7 as Handley will take over. Good field position at their own 36. 5:04 remaining in the first half. Hensler will call for the shotgun snap. He looks over to his right, wants Yoder, who skies for it, but off of his left hand into the Handley bench. Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
I tell you what, that's a long throw across the field right there for a high school quarterback running. He was running about a 6-7 yard out route and throwing it from the other hash mark across that field. That was one heck of a long throw, and it was actually too high and out of the reach.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for John Handley. 5:01 left in the first half. Ball will be snapped. A couple of shades from that left hash mark for Handley. They're working left to right with the wind at their back late first half. Hensler calls for the snap, and he'll give it off. Hit in the backfield, breaking through a couple of tackles up past the 36 to the 37, maybe the 38. Gavin Williams got the carry on that one, and we'll call it a game of about 1 to bring up 3rd and 9. We'll call it a game of 2, 3rd and 8.
Well, again, pretty good job right there for the Cavaliers being able to shut down those runs on that zone play right there. Only a half a yard, putting them in 3rd and a long 9+ right here.
So 3rd and 9 for John Handley, tied at 7. at their own 37 is where they'll snap it. Clock's going to go under 4:25 here in this second quarter in a tie game. Yoder, Hensler calls for the snap, looks for Yoder off the right side. It's caught at the 50-yard line. It's enough for a first down. They might even give them an extra yard down to the JF 49.
Well, that was a comeback route. That was a good route. That was a good throw. They bought time with the sprint out. They had enough blocking for the sprint out to make that connection finally.
So John Handley gets into JF territory, and the clock gets inside 4 minutes in the second quarter. Ball will be snapped off the right hash mark as Handley gets a first down. And they'll split two receivers, now three wide over to the left side. None to the right. Yoder, the middle one in the slot off the left hash mark. And flags come in once again, and looks like this will be a false start on John Handley. As a pre-snap flag comes in.
Exactly what it is.
Illegal procedure call goes against the judges.
I tell you, we'll make quick note who we are not seeing on the field for the Cavaliers is number 33, Thax Rowland. I don't know if he's been injured and is on the sideline. That is one of their best defensive players right now, so they are a man down in that position.
Rowland is not on the field. It's a great observation, Coach, as Handley takes the snap and handoff to Washington, cuts through a couple of Cavalier defenders, but a good job converging. Charleston Harris, Gabe Barnett come up to team with Spencer Sloan at the 46, gain of 2.
Yeah, again, short gain right there. Puts them in 2nd and 12. Let's see what the judges do here, looking to maybe potentially another sprint out, another short pass to the outs to their best receiver, number 7 for the judges. That's Yoder.
Instead of the 46, it's the 49 of JF on 2nd and 12. Snap, Hensler, play fake, swing pass left side. Brown breaks through a tackle at the 50, barrels his way down to about the JF 45. He'll be 6 yards from the first down, but give him a manageable 3rd and 6.
Yeah, quick little slot right there. Quick little slot throw to the outside. Good throw, good catch. Positive yards, puts them in manageable 3rd down right here from what they were after the penalty.
So Handley will lean up, and you've got an observation to make as they break the huddle.
Yeah, Thax Rowland over there on the trainer's table right now with the trainers looking at him. He is definitely out with some type of injury.
As he's being tended to on the far side, it's 3rd and 6 of the JF 45. Play fake, trying to turn the corner left side, and sliding at the first down marker is Hensler. Just a good, well-called play for Hensler. Everyone's thinking Washington will get it. Hensler takes it left side. He slides at the first down marker, and it should be enough for a Handley first down, and it is, as the clock will approach the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. And a reminder, life doesn't give you a 2-minute warning, which is why a life insurance policy with your Erie Family Life agent, Andy Matthews on Waterlick Road in Lynchburg, might be right for you.
I tell you what, good little counter play to the zone run right there with the quarterback pulling it, keeping it himself.
Snap, this time it is Washington getting it, waiting for blocking on the right side to open up, finds a crease at the 35, and sprints down inside the 30, the 29. Maybe they give him even the 28. It's enough for another judge's first down as they're working a little more quickly, trying to break this 7-all deadlock with 1:56 to go before halftime.
Well, Jamar Washington actually able to find a little seam right there on that play, was able to follow the pull and guard on that zone play, able to get a first down right now as the clock is counting down. The defense needs to stiffen here as we get down towards halftime.
One receiver over to the left side, 2 including Yoder deep on the right. High snap for Hensler, pulls it down, tries to take off. Spencer Sloan grabs him and pulls him down back at the line of scrimmage. And Hensler saying he never was down. The referees beg to differ. And, of course, there's a flag on the play, as has been the theme of this penalty-ridden first half.
Correction, no flag.
And there is no flag. Sorry, please forgive us and the PA announcer. We've seen so much laundry. That's the stat we did not ask Bob Alvis to keep track of. We weren't expecting that many, but alas, here we go.
Well, the judge is not using a timeout yet as the clock now has gone under 1 minute. They do have all 3 of them.
We'll see what they dial up. It's 55 seconds and counting down in a tied ball game at 7 late first half. Hensler play fake, wants Yoder across the middle. Nope, he'll find Williams instead of the 20. Drag defenders down to the 15. Clock will stop off the first down to Zaquan Williams. Caught it in the flat on the right side.
Well, that was a tight end right there our wing. That was the wing. He just worked his way down the seam and just turned around and was able to take that pass from the quarterback, Hensler, for a good little pass play for a positive first down.
Timeout called. John Handley, I believe they do. They burn that timeout. We'll take it with them. 7-all game. John Handley, though, deep in JF territory, 41 seconds to go before halftime.
True health isn't about judgment. It's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry,
I got something on that,
we
but-
help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at crossroadsfamilydentistryva.com and call us today to schedule your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by Pro Squad.
John Handley is going to snap it from the JF 15. We're tied at 7, 41 ticks to go before halftime. Snap, pitch play. Williams wants to throw now, takes off the tight end to the 15, down to the 10. He stayed in bounds, and the clock will either run or John Handley will call a timeout. It will be option 2. So the judges call a timeout with 34 seconds to go. To your point, though, Coach, on Thax Rowland, it looked like he suffered a leg injury on that long run. And from what I have gathered, having gotten some text dialogue with some folks around Jefferson Forest, his return would be listed at this point as doubtful.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a big effect on the Cavaliers, both offensively and defensively. But again, the next man needs to step up right here. Whoever is taking over for Thax Rowland needs to up their game and try to help their team right now. The defense is doing their best to try to keep the judges out of the end zone here as they have driven down all the way to the 10-yard line with 34 seconds left.
Rowland is still on the medical table, and that might just be for a comfort thing on the far side and not wanting to leave, or maybe there's a chance he would come back. We will see. 2nd and 5, judges, 34 seconds to go, knocking on the door of the Impact Church end zone. Hensler takes off, tries to get past the 10, does not. He's brought down. Great open field tackle on the near side as Bryson Spano was there to converge with them. Also, Seth Bell came in, and John Handley will spend their 3rd and final timeout with 26 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll take it with them and see what they dial up on 3rd down and 5 when we return.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right consult who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business.
If they don't get it, you're in kind of a fire drill.
The entire
There's enough time
behind.
But either you got to be pretty convicted on whether you take a field goal or
and drop
go
by.
for it. You don't have any room for
Flooring on
confusion.
Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community
I do
spirit.
too, because if you don't get it, you can throw it out of bounds.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by ProSlaw.com.
So for John Handley at the JF 9-yard line. They have burned through all 3 timeouts on this last sequence, have the judges. So if they want to break the 7-all deadlock with 26 seconds to go before halftime, they might need a pass play to throw it out of bounds. We shall see. It is a tight formation. It does not preclude pass. 4-man front for JF. Hensler takes the snap. He is looking to throw, turns to the left side, rolls it, floats it toward the Impact Church end zone, and like we mentioned, floats it out of bounds. And Handley at least has a decision they can make. Tied at 7, 20 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Well, I tell you what, you got 4th down right here, and it looks like the field goal team is coming on, so they have made their decision to try to get the lead here going into half.
Looks like they've got enough confidence in Josh Newcomb to line up for what's probably going to be about a 26-yard field goal attempt off the right hash. They've got the wind at their back. Not as fervent of a wind as it was earlier today, as the rain has carried some of that wind out of Winchester with it. 20 seconds to go for John Handley. JF could go for a block. They could go back into a safe mode. Snap is good, so is the hold. The kick is up, and it's through. And Handley takes the lead with 16 seconds to go in the first half, 10-7.
Well, Handley was able to do just enough to get down here, get in field goal range, and send their field goal kicker on to give them the rewarded 3 points. And they are now officially in the lead with that field goal right before half.
They are, and credit them. They took the ball with about 5 minutes to go before halftime, and they bled most of this clock down. Cavaliers have all 3 timeouts. I don't think there's really much of a mathematical way they would use all 3. And for Jefferson Forest, they do get the ball to start the second half. So Handley prevents that coveted, middle 8, as they call it, where you try to get a touchdown before halftime and get the ball and get another one at the start of the second half. Unless there's a real big play in JF's book, and it might be, it kind of negates that potential.
Yeah, exactly right. So with that being said, the judges did potentially help themselves with that long timed drive, giving the Cavaliers little to no opportunities here before they go to half, which they will come out and get the ball when we start.
We'll see if there's a kick return opportunity. It is going to be kicked to Xander Coleman. Grabs it at the 13 off the left hash mark. So the 20 looks for an opening to the 25. There's not one there. Gets up to about the 28. And with 10 seconds to go before the break, that's where JF will take over. And it might be either a kneel down or just kind of a conventional safe run play to get out of here in the first half. And if you're looking about safe runs, Thax Rowland would normally be the guy to get the ball in that scenario, but he is still over on the table. And the doubtful return gets even more doubtful the longer he stays over there.
Yeah, 10 seconds right here. I can't imagine Coach Cruz is going to do too much here. You're looking at really one play. I know you could use your timeouts and get maybe 2 plays in down the field, which I don't know if you want to take that chance.
Yeah, if you do, you got to count for JoJo Johnson, the middle linebacker, has been brought on quite a bit of pressures from John Handley. And once again, they're kind of creeping them up toward the 4-man front. They will not. Jackson has it. Swing pass to Fox over on the far side. The 30-35 will just sprint out of bounds right around there with 4 seconds remaining before the break. Kind of a low-risk, low-reward pass play. Gained 7 for whatever those cosmetic yards are worth.
Yeah, judges had everybody in prevent, dropping back. The underneath pass over to the sideline was wide open right there for Cam Fox. But, yeah, right now with 4 seconds, probably either run or kneel down or another short pass probably.
JF will have one more crack at it, down 10-7. 4 seconds to go before halftime here in Winchester at John Handley High School. Second round matchup, give off to Fox off the right side. This will end the first half. Gains maybe 2 yards, some extra yards after contact. But in doing that, he eats up the remainder of the clock. And the judges will go into the locker room with a 10-7 lead on Jefferson Forest here in the first half. Coach, it's that type of first half where both teams have largely played pretty evenly. A couple more miscues for JF has resulted in some missed opportunities, and it's why they're down by 3.
Yeah, again, penalties, a few missed opportunities, but to me the big thing is Thax Rowland being out of the game. The JF Cavaliers really need to regroup at halftime, figure out how they're going to compensate for that and what they can do to put some points on the board. After that initial drive, which looked wonderful, they have really struggled for the most part moving the ball.
Yeah, and Rowland is trying to get off the scorer's table on the far side, or off the injury table on the far side, to get over to the locker room as the rest of the Cavaliers trot to the locker room, which is on the near side underneath the stands where we are based here at John Handley. A bit of an odd crossover here, and Rowland seems like he can barely put weight on his leg, which might indicate his status. And I mean, Coach, let's call a spade a spade. If there's any way he could get back into the game, knowing this is a senior season and from here on out it's an elimination game, you know he would, given his toughness in both football and lacrosse. And if it's just not feasible, it's just not feasible. And you hate to see something like that happen, but it appears that's where the scenario is right now for JF, and they'll have to regroup and come up with a game plan in the second half. You would think, presuming Thax Rowland just can't go.
Yeah, no, and again, Coach Cruz and them get in here at halftime, make some adjustments. Again, halftime is a big time for coaches to really figure out what kind of adjustments they can make to have the advantage coming out here for the last 2 quarters.
Yeah, it'll be something JF has to account for. Thax Rowland just sitting back down on the injury table on the far side. If he moves, we'll let you know. But if not, it's probably an indication of his status. I mean, that guy's as tough as it gets, and you hate it for JF. They're not out of it, but they have an uphill battle down 10-7, not insurmountable, but without one of your top players in the second half. That will be a storyline to monitor. We'll get that from Coach Kennedy in a bit. But when we return, Ty Tracy will have your halftime show, including a look at scores from around the region in high school football and big regional matchups in college athletics as well. That when we return on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com. As we're at the break, John Handley 10, Jefferson Forest 7.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact is a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right consult who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Ultimate Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
True health isn't about judgment, it's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry, we partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at crossroadsfamilydentistryva.com and call us today to schedule your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from simple fender benders to complex tractor-trailer cases. And we're ready to put our experience to work for you. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, just give us a call at 777-HURT or visit us at trostlaw.com.
Considering buying life insurance? Then ask Andy, your local Erie family life agent. Andy Matthews has been selling life insurance for 33 years, right here in Central Virginia, and has been a great sponsor of JF Athletics. Many Virginia families have Erie Family Life as part of their insurance portfolio. Look for the Andy Matthews Agency, located on Waterlick Road, right here locally, and not just an 800 number in some unknown office. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
Presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football halftime show presented by TrostLaw.com. I'm your host, Coach Stacy. Right now, we have a 10-7 ball game right now with John Handley is up 10. 7 with John up half 10 and Jefferson Forest has 7. I was expecting a close game. They're both even. I think they are evenly matched. I think both is. I knew it was going to be a defensive ball game in the first half. Like you said, like I said before, both teams don't know each other, so they learn it. They learn, but they trying to figure out the play style, how they play. I see John Handley was catching up a little bit, and with Jefferson Forest right now, they're just killing themselves right now with penalties, certain communication on the field on the offensive side of the ball. So, I mean, the defense is good. The defense has been playing good. It's just the offense need to find itself to click, and they need to take advantage of the opportunities when they get it. So, the defense is ahead of the game. The offense has to catch up. I would say catch up. They have to make some adjustments, figure out what is John Henry run up front, and so they can so the plays they want to run, they execute on there. And John Henley is like right now they know the offense a little bit, so that's why I was like the first half it's going to be like a lot of they don't know the play style, so they learn it, and then the second half they make some adjustments. So, but the only key part is that Thaddeus Rowland is really out. I say out, but right now is dealing with a leg injury with lower body because they say on Ed Lane Bikini said they seen it that he couldn't put pressure on it, so they're gonna have to make some adjustments. So is a next man up mentality because you're not having your captains out there on the defense side of the ball, especially a linebacker position, who's been playing outstanding and everything. Even Coach Smith getting praised about it during the pregame show. So it's going to be really questionable. Like they just need to figure out a way, especially not have next role. They gonna have to a next man up gonna have to step up, place his role. But as the second half, I would like to see some adjustments. Really, I mean, like I said before, Coach Cruz is good with adjustments. Defense played another level. So, but it's going to be really crucial. I feel like it's going to come to a last possession game. Last possession critical on special teams. It don't matter. It's just like they're going to have to capitalize on a possession when they need to and when they see it. So hopefully they make some I know they'll make some adjustment, but it's going to be a really tight ball game in the second half if I see from both teams, but it's going to really depends how Jeff wants it more or not. So that's how I'll say my thoughts about the first half. So next I'll give you some halftime scores around the area. Well, not halftime scores, some final scores from last night's game, then some scores we got for the VTRN Sports with Virginia Tech playing Miami right now, then a little bit of SMU versus Louisville. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. This is the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers halftime show presented by TroSlaw.com.
Fastest, strongest, but he's
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants. It's easy to forget we've got a lot to be thankful for. A gorgeous place to live, friendly people, and the freedom to be our best. Apple Auto Glass wants to remind you of how wonderful things still are and how fortunate we are. And of course, when you need to fix a crack in your windshield, side window, or mirror, you can trust Apple Auto Glass. When you call Apple Auto Glass, you'll speak with Harold or one of his associates, not some mystery man from an 800 number. So take time, give thanks, and when you need to fix your glass, call Apple Auto Glass, Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg.
It's here, the Fall Spectacular at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford. Get 0% for 72 months on 2025 Ram 1500s, or take 10% off MSRP and save up to $13,500. Drive off today in a Wrangler Sport and save up to $6,000 off MSRP. Don't miss the Fall Spectacular sales event at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford, 1750 Independence Boulevard, MagicCityBedford.com. Financing with a offers in 10/31/25.
You've heard how easy it is to get life insurance on the radio and internet. But what they don't say is you may not be getting the very best rate. If you've been needing to buy life insurance, why not buy it from your JF sponsor, Andy Matthews, located right here in Lynchburg? You'll get the truth about buying life insurance, and you will have an agent who can discuss options that are right for your family. Contact Andy Matthews a licensed Erie family life agent. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
Young adults face unique stresses and challenges more than ever. That's why the Forest Youth Athletic Association's mission is providing a safe arena where growing children can learn the rules and values that come from athletic competition. FYAA sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer foster a culture of fair play and sportsmanship while developing skills and character that last beyond playing the game. Visit forestyouth.org to register for a sport or to share your time and resources.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by
Welcome back to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football halftime show presented by sociallaw.com. I'm your host, Tracy, once again. Now, here are some final scores from last night when teams play on Friday night. Excuse everyone. So first, we'll go with earlier. I said GW versus Shenandoah. GW beats Shenandoah. Now they're away the win between Jefferson Forest and John Handley. Heritage beat Turner Ashby 35-14. LCA beats Wilson Memorial 22-6. As LCA versus Heritage will repeat again next Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Magna Vista beats Carroll County 64-28, and Lower Botetourt beats Waynesburg 35-21. As Magna Vista will play against Lower Botetourt in the regional finals. Gretna escapes from Floyd County 56-55. Excuse me, everyone. As Gretna will face against Glenvar in the regional finals. Alta Vista comes short against Buffalo Gap as they lost to Buffalo Gap 52-29. Hermitage beat Patrick Henry 28-25. Highland Springs beat William Fleming 37-7. So those are your high school scores from last night's game. As for right now, I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna say for the VTRN Sports for today and tomorrow. As today we got Tech playing against Miami right now. Triple header matchup for today's game as Miami playing against Tech right now, Virginia Tech right now. Then later on we got USC Trojans versus the Oregon Ducks as coverage starts at 3, kickoff starts at 3:30. Then Saturday night we have tonight BYU Cougars versus the Cincinnati Bearcats at coverage starts at 7:30, kickoff starts at 8. As I said again, Miami versus Virginia Tech right now. Then next we have USC Trojans versus Oregon Ducks. The kickoff starts at 3:30, coverage starts at 3. Then the BYU Cougars versus the Cincinnati Bearcats with coverage starts at 7:30, kickoff starts at 8. Then tomorrow, triple header NFL Sunday, VTRN Sports. We have first game we have the Indiana versus the Indianapolis Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs with coverage starts at 12:30, kickoff starts at 1. Then we got NFC East rivalry as the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys with coverage starts at 4, kickoff starts at 4:25 p.m. Eastern time. Then later on, this Sunday night, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the LA Rams with coverage starts at 7:40, kickoff starts at 8:20 p.m. Eastern time. As I say again, Indianapolis Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kickoff starts at 1. Coverage starts at 12:30. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. Coverage starts at 4 o'clock. Kickoff starts at 4:25. Then the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the LA Rams with coverage starts at 7:40. Kickoff starts at 8:20. Now, those are all your VTRN sports for today and tomorrow and for Sunday. And we go through some scores right now, some college scores right now. As right now we have the Virginia Tech Hokies versus the Miami Hurricanes with the Miami Hurricanes up against Virginia Tech 14-3 midway through the second quarter. Then we have SMU versus Louisville Cardinals as SMU is up 14-3. And then we have James Madison versus Washington State with kickoff starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Then next we have Old Dominion Monarchs versus Georgia State with right now ODU is up 24-0 against Georgia State. Then later on we have excuse me everyone. Then next we have
We will take that back.
Next, we have William and Mary versus Richmond Spiders. As right now, William Mary's up 14-0 at halftime against Richmond Spiders. So that's all your scores around the area, and that's all your college scores and updates around the area. Next, we'll go commercial break. Then we'll head back to Winchester with Ed Lane and Coach Rick King get more JF football in the second half. So this is the Jeff Sports Cavaliers halftime show presented by TroSlaw.com.
Like people will be losing their minds.
Easy to forget we've got a lot to be thankful for. A gorgeous place to live, friendly people, and the freedom to be our best. Apple Auto Glass wants to remind you of how wonderful things still are and how fortunate we are. And of course, when you need to fix a crack in your windshield, side window, or mirror, you can trust Apple Auto Glass. When you call Apple Auto Glass, you'll speak with Ron or one of his associates, not some mystery man from the 800 number. So take time, give thanks, and when you need to fix your glass, call Apple Auto Glass, Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg. This past week in the Fast Lane, we got unique perspective on Virginia Tech naming James Franklin their new head football coach. David Cunningham and Chris Coleman of TechSideline.com. Uncle Luke, high school football coach down in Miami, who's had players recruited by James Franklin, and former NFL quarterback Ryan Lee, who was with James Franklin when Franklin was an assistant coach at Washington State. Hear it all, Fast Lane Ed Lane, where you listen to podcasts. Stay connected, Fast Lane Ed Lane, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and join us Monday, 5 to 6 p.m., VTR and Sports app, and 93.3 FM.
This is Jefferson Cavaliers football. TroSlaw.com.
Well, there's good news and bad news for the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers as it relates to the Thax Rowland injury. The good news is it might not be as severe as people initially feared it could have been when he left after that long run in the first half. But the not so good news is he's on crutches. He is now out as far as a return to this game. It's 10-7. John Handley on top of Jefferson Forest here. We're getting ready to start the third quarter, and the 10-7 score kind of indicative of what we've seen. 28 plays, 2 punts, and an interception for John Handley, and they got deep into JF territory but could not convert. They had to settle for a field goal at the end of the first half. Meanwhile, JF 23 plays, 2 punts, plus a turnover on downs. Not much doing for either team. Peyton Jackson, the leading rusher for JF, 4 carries, 35 yards. And, of course, for John Handley, Zamir Washington, the leading carrier for them. 12 carries, but only 34 yards. Coach, start of the second half, if you're Jefferson Forest, how do you adjust, particularly as they start with the ball on the offensive end without one of your top playmakers?
Well, they definitely are having to have the next man up, step his game up, and be able to come in and play. Obviously not at the same level as a Thax Rowland, but they just need to be responsible for what their duties are going to be offensively and defensively. And again, whoever can control this front is really going to have the advantage here, establishing a run and an offense.
With the help of the wind, Newcomb's kick goes back to the 5. Coleman fields it there, cuts from the near to the far side hash mark, past the 20 up to the 21, and JF will begin the third quarter on offense, having won the toss and deferred their option to the second half. They will be working into the wind in the third quarter. Handley's going to have the wind at their back, and unless it's swirling, which it might, it'll flip around in the fourth quarter. 10-7, John Handley on top of Jefferson Forest here. In Jefferson Forest and John Handley, neither one has really mustered a lot offensively. How much of that has been self-inflicted mistakes and penalties? How much of that has been good defense?
Well, it's been a combination of both. JF has hurt themselves with the yellow flags, but the judges defensively have really done a pretty good job of bend and don't break other than that first series.
JoJo Johnson, the linebacker, has crept up a lot. He might do it again on a 3-man front. This time a give to Barnett. Follows the right side of the line to the 24 off the right hash marks. He picks up 3 for Jefferson Forest. And believe it or not, when they've even had 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, they've been in navigable situations, but a couple of times they've had pre-snap penalties at the start of a drive or a hold, and that's where they've really gotten set back.
Yeah, well, and that was a defensive end right there, folding back inside, making that tackle for a short gain right there. Again, the offensive line of JF really needs to establish himself and get some movement on the front 4 of the judges.
JF working into the wind, 11:18 to go, third quarter, down by 3. Handoff to Johnson, turns the corner right side, hit at the 26, backs his way up to about the 28, maybe the 29, picks up a couple more yards there, 3rd and 4 on the way.
Yeah, again, 3rd and 4 right here. They have to get a first down. They do not want to go 3 and out right here. They got to try to get a little momentum going. I feel like the judges took that momentum, especially getting that field goal to get the lead right here. So they really need a first down right here, and Coach Cruz really has to go to his playbook and figure out something maybe that the judges have not seen so far.
Jack Lee split wide to the left. 2 slot backs, and Cam Fox is the running back to the left of Jackson. Johnson in motion, fake the handoff. Jackson turns the corner, 30, 34-yard line. Knows he's got the first down, then trots into the JF bench. Moves the sticks in. Here we go again. Flags coming in.
Wow. Something happened over there on the sideline after the whistle right here, and they're
in the neighborhood of words being exchanged in all likelihood, and probably on sportsmanlike conduct or a personal foul, and it's a personal foul on John Handley, and this one will give JF an extra 15 yards close to midfield.
Well, that is a big mistake by the judges, adding on 15 with that first down run right there by Peyton Jackson. I don't know what they saw, if something was said or if somebody kept pushing Jackson after he went out of bounds, but that is a huge advantage now, and the Cavaliers need to take advantage of that on this series.
They'll have it snapped at the 49, just shy of midfield off the right hash mark. A minute and a half into this second half. Coming in motion now is Barnett, faking the give to him. Instead, it's Johnson off the right side into Handley territory. He burrows his way underneath a couple of judges' defenders between the right hash and numbers to the 45.
Well, I tell you what, that was a good job right there by Luke Johnson finding a hole, because initially it didn't look like there was much there, and he was able to kind of sneak in and find a crease and be able to turn it upfield. That is a great first down run of solid 7 yards.
That's what JF's going to need more of in this game. They'll give him 6, needing to get to the John Handley 41, but finding those hidden yards, which JF did early in the year and throughout much of it, but have not as much today until that play. Snap, this time it's a fake, give off to Fox. Jackson hit at the 45, spins to the 44, keeps his legs backing down to about the 43. It'll be a manageable 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd and short again. They're letting Jackson help out a little bit here, doing a little play action on some of the motion and take that ball. He kept it himself right there for about a good 2 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 2 for Coach Cruz.
JF, we'll see what they dial up. Ball will be snapped in the middle of the field near the yellow lines on the soccer circle, the soccer and lacrosse circle that they have toward midfield. 9:12 to go. JF ball trailing 10-7. Snap, handoff Fox into the heart of the Handley defense. 45, breaks the tackle past the 40, keeps his legs churning down to the 35 before he stood up there, but it's a Cavalier first down on the 8-yard Cam Fox run.
Well, Cam Fox powered through that time. Again, the linebackers, both 2 of the 3 linebackers were sneaking up right there and actually blitzed, and Fox was able to somehow avoid them and get into that 2nd, 3rd level where the safety helped make the tackle.
So JF football now. They'll snap it at the 35 of John Handley. Clock working inside 8:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Cavaliers trailing 10-7. Jackson calls for it, takes it. He's going to drop back to throw. Floats it off the left side. Barnett comes back 25, catches it, spun out of a tackle to 22. Now hit by 2 Handley defenders and brought down there between the left side numbers and hash mark. But Gabe Barnett comes back and still picks up 13 on the reception. And the Cavaliers are knocking on the door of the red zone.
Well, there you go. Great little play right there. They went ahead and had Barnett able to get out here up the sideline, the corner bit, and went inside with the receiver. Barnett able to sneak up the sideline. Good throw right there. Peyton Jackson getting it out to him just in time.
We'll give it a gain of 12 down to the 23 after the reset, but it still is enough to move the chains. Clock's going to go toward the 8-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. JF trailing John Handley 10-7. They are driving in Judges territory in the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Snap coming off the left hash mark. Misdirection handoff. Johnson, he's hitting the backfield. Powers back to the line of scrimmage, and what do you know? Another flag comes in. And everybody's just putting their hands out like, wait, another one? Who's this on? And I think it'll be a hold on JF, but we'll see. And it is. So it'll back them up 10 yards.
Yeah, again, this is exactly what they cannot do. They got a nice little drive going here. They're making some positive plays, and they come back and run the wing counter, and they get caught with a hold right there, pushing them back 10 yards. They will get the down over again, but still they are losing field position right there. They cannot be making these mistakes again like they did in the first half.
It'll be 1st and 18. It's from the spot of the foul, which was a 21. I think they got Spencer Sloan on the outside trying to get a block. It didn't look like it was really a hold, but this has been a very tightly officiated game. Empty backfield now. Jackson calls for it. Coleman goes in motion, and it's an option play to him. Turns the corner. The 30 tries to break through a tackle. Cannot quite get through it. Gets back to about the 28. Picked up 3. 2nd down and 15 coming up for JF.
Well, the key on the rocket sweep all year has been the ability of the Cavaliers split outs and slot to everybody get their blocks, and the Handley defense is not allowing that to happen. They are coming off blocks. They are not getting themselves able to be blocked, and that is what's stopping that play.
So now it'll be 2nd down and 16 for JF at the 29 is where they reset it. It was only a game of 2. That's all they gave Xander Coleman. Clock under 7 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. Jackson has it, takes it, floats it left side. Fox catches it out of the backfield. Hit by 2 Judges defenders who pursued him and had excellent coverage there. Trent Gomez, the captain linebacker, and Will Yoder were both in on the tackle, and it's basically no gain, 3rd and long coming up.
Well, I tell you, they've done a good job defending the flats out here. They have done that a number of times for little to no gain on those throws out there, especially to Cam Fox catching that from the rocket motion. They have to try to force the ball downfield and try to get it into a receiver's hands down the field.
Challenge is, can they protect against John Handley's pass rush? They really only bring about 3 to 4, but they have brought JoJo Johnson, the captain linebacker, quite often on pressure. We'll see what's dialed up here. Jackson takes it. It is a pass play. He's looking for Lee, covered, now scrambles to the right, tries to float it to the far side and has to hurl it into the bench. Called by Bryson Spano of JF, but the problem is he's out of bounds.
Well, they were trying to run a little throwback play here to Luke Johnson. He was trying to sneak out and go back this backside up the sideline, but the Handley the judges just able to read that. They were all over that. There was nobody to throw to.
There's a lot of window dressing on these throws for JF, and John Handley's done a really good job of reading it. Now JF's going to go for it. Kind of that no man's land. Not really field goal territory. It would be a 47-yard try into the wind with a new kicker, but you're at the 30-yard line of John Handley, and you've got 13 yards you need to collect. And now it'll be one of those pooch punt plays. Jackson has it. It's a punt, and it's going to be tipped, and it'll be bouncing and rolling over toward the sideline, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 8-yard line, which playing field position down 10-7 might be the best opportunity, as Handley will get it for the first time. Up 10-7 on Jefferson Forest. 5:47 left in the 3rd quarter.
I tell you what, that was a good little pooch punt right there by Peyton Jackson. And you're right, this field position right here could help. They really need to stop the Judges on a 3-and-out, get the ball back. They showed some good movement on that last series. They just weren't able to finish once they got across the 30-yard line. And again, the holding penalty stopped all their momentum.
I mean, that's been a theme for JF. These penalties have derailed their promising drives when they've had momentum. This time, Hensler, the snap and a give to Washington. Bounces out to the left side, 10 into the JF bench for a good run up to about the 13.
I see a flag over there on the sideline. See if they're going to call something on the Handley team this time.
It's in the neighborhood of one of those downfield holds at about the 10 to 11-yard line. Wouldn't be a huge yardage penalty as John Handley deep in their own territory, up 10-7. Clock stopped at 5:41 to go, and it is going to be a hole on the Judges here. And again, Coach, back to our point early in the game, and at times maybe you think it's against JF. I just think this has been a very tightly officiated playoff game.
It has. They are definitely keeping everything pretty tight. They're calling most of the stuff they're seeing. So this time it got the Judges on that.
Now, it's been tightly officiated, but it's been tightly officiated against anybody, especially free-flowing. Handoff Washington into the heart of the JF defense. Tries to keep the legs churning up to about the 10. Forward progress will stop him right around there on a gain of about 5. 2nd and 8 is where we'll call it.
Again, inside run right there for the Judges. That was Washington trying to get something going right there. And we'll see if the coaches for the Judge want to try to put the ball in the air right here. It's 2nd and 8.
Judges have the wind at their back right now for the remaining 4:55 in the third quarter. Clock is moving. Play fake. Nope, it's a handoff. Washington breaking into the clear at the 15, 20, 25, 30, and he's pushed out of bounds at around the 35. They'll give him the 37, but it's a 27-yard run by Jameer Washington. The first time we've called the 1,400-yard rusher's name on a big play, and now the judges are out of their own end zone.
Well, that was a huge run. That was just the zone play to the power side. And again, he just kind of kept working his way to the outside until he had that open zone. And that's where missing Thax Rowland comes in, because that's the side that Zax Rowland would have been on right there. That is his play to stop.
And that's a great point about that. Rowland's been dealing with the leg injury, ankle or leg. He's out for the remainder of this game and on crutches on the JF sideline. Yoder, snap, handoff, following blockers, Amir Brown, left side 40, breaks into the clear 50, JF territory 40, he's past the 30 and he's gone. Nope, caught at the 20-yard line from behind and brought down around the 15. What a game-saving tackle by Gabe Barnett. If not, John Handley might have created some much-needed separation. Instead, they'll have to work a little harder to get that.
Well, I tell you what, two big plays back-to-back, and both of them are basically the same play. One was to the offensive right side. They come right back and run the exact same play to the left side with the zone, had the power blocking, had the tight end and the wing both over there, and they are not able to stop that play right now.
JF, last couple of years, they've had great seasons. They're trying to get over that second-round hurdle, but the challenge getting bigger as John Handley has it up 10-7 at the JF 15. Snap, handoff, Washington, hit from behind, and Slade Kazee holds on long enough to allow some help to come in as Bentley Jones, the linebacker who's taken the place of Thax Rowland, comes in and makes the stop. It's a loss of a yard.
Well, that's one of the first few times we've been able to bring up the name number 58 right there for the Cavaliers, and Slade Kazee making a huge play, able to penetrate and bring down that running back on that zone play right there. They ran that play. That's the third time in a row they've run that play.
Cavaliers need some more of those as it's a 2nd and 11 for John Handley, but at the JF 16, driving with the wind at their back, up 10-7 on JF, 3.5 to go in the third quarter. They'll call for the snap off the right hash mark against a 5-man JF front. Play fake. Hensley steps up, tries to cut out to the left side. Pursuit from behind by Hamilton, gets clear of him just enough to get to about the 12 before Logan Hamilton comes down, and also brought down by Pearson Brooks, and it'll be 3rd and long for the judges.
Yeah, play action. Hansler was looking to throw. It looked like he was looking to throw the post route on that backside. It wasn't there, and he pulled it down and took off running. So now puts them in the 3rd down, but again, they are already pushing the 10-yard line, so they are in field goal range.
They made one earlier, and now John Handley will call a timeout to decide what to do on 3rd and 7. We'll find out what they call. Judges ball, trying to build a 10-7 lead on Jefferson Forest. 2:55 to go in the third quarter.
It's the perfect time to take your car to Meineke to make sure your engine starts perfectly this year. Whether you need tires, brakes, engine repairs, or simply an oil change, Meineke has you covered with certified technicians, free digital e-inspections with pictures and videos, and financing options. They're there to not only help you start your engine, but keep it running smoothly all year long. They're your one-stop shop for car care needs. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
It's an important 3rd down coming up. If John Handley can convert, they keep the drive alive in their quest to grow a 10-7 lead. If JF gets the stop, they might force a field goal attempt as the judges have a 10-7 lead on JF. 2:55 to go here in the third quarter. Snap will come left hash mark off the 12. Taken back shoulder throw from Hensler, and he could not quite find Jameer Washington in the flat. Charleston Harris did a good enough job of obstructing the route of Jameer Washington, and it's incomplete in a 4th down play coming up. And right now it looks like the judges will keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, what a play right there by Charleston Harris, able to read that. They were trying to sneak the back out of the backfield over there to that backside. They were play action running it to the play side to our offensive right, and they tried to sneak him out the back, but Charleston Harris read that perfect, no place to go.
And so instead, it's a 4th and 7. Judges calling to go for it all the way. Duncan Hensler will line up in the shotgun. Jameer Washington to his right. Ball's going to be snapped off the 12-yard line left hash mark. And a snap taken. Hensler has it. He's rolling out to his right. He's under duress. He steps up. He's hit. Ball pops loose. JF Hamilton picks it up 30. He's got 2 judges on him, but he gets it back to the 35 of JF. And the Cavaliers not only force a turnover on downs, they force a turnover and a flip of about 21 yards in field position.
Wow, what a great job right there. The defense really coming to life right there, making stuff happen, putting pressure on the quarterback, Hensler, and he was trying to buy time, and he couldn't do it, and he brings that, tried to throw it, he got stripped and knocked out, and now they're in business. What a change of momentum. JF really has to take advantage here offensively.
JF, their defense, it's bent, but it is not broken just yet. And they get a big stop there. Logan Hamilton leading the way defensively to force that play. Jackson will call for the shotgun snap. Xander Coleman goes in motion. Pitch play to Coleman off the right side. 35, trying to break one, but cannot there. Good pursuit defense over on the far side. He gets up to the 36, but gains just 2. Yoder came in on the stop.
Yeah, JoJo Johnson, what a great job from the middle linebacker's position, able to run that down, especially Xander Coleman, and his speed was able to get out there and make that tackle. Otherwise, it may have been a huge run right there for Xander.
Instead, it's going to be 2nd and 8. JF at their own 36, working with the wind in their faces right now, but that'll only last for about 2 minutes as we're at the 2:07 mark here in the working clock in the third quarter. Cam Fox goes in motion, misdirection handoff. Coleman trying to the left side. 40, he turns his legs up to about the 43, fights and falls forward to the 45. That extra effort is enough to get them the first down.
Yeah, big run right there, and Xander right now is on the ground. He is not getting up. That is not look good.
Xander Coleman is pounding into the field turf as he rolls over and now tries to get up under his own power, goes back down. We will assess the injury when we return. JF already without Thax Rowland. Now Xander Coleman goes out, and the bad luck of injuries continue for the Cavaliers. We'll assess when we return. 10-7, JF trying to eat away at a 3-point deficit. Late third quarter, 1:55 to be exact, here at John Handley.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking at unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit the concretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Well, we only heard from the Concrete Wizard on that last play, or on the last injury timeout, because for JF, fortunately, Xander Coleman was able to get up and trot over to the sideline, that we will miss this 1st and 10 snap for JF from their own 45. Trailing at John Handley, 10-7, late third quarter. Jackson, QB keeper all the way, follows the left side of the line, up past the 48 to the 49, just shy of midfield, and the clock will go under a minute and a half in the third quarter.
Well, I tell you, the key is on their first down runs, they gotta get at least about 4 or 5 yards and make it manageable, and they gotta avoid the penalties, which has stopped a lot of their momentum. Even that last series, it was the hold call that really shut down that last attempt as they were starting to drive deep into Judd territory.
Penalties, it's been a tightly officiated game all the way around. These referees have thrown flags pretty easily on both teams throughout. And JF trying to avoid it, stunting a drive as they approach midfield. Clock goes under 50 seconds to go in the third quarter, trailing 10-7. Snap, Jackson has it off the left hash. Floats it, Jack Lee. Luke Johnson, correction, caught on a slant route inside the Handley 40, down to the 38. And the Cavaliers pick up the first down on the 13-yard reception.
Well, that's a key right there for Coach Cruz now. They need to open up this offense a little bit, because the judges have been playing the run, play the run, and they've done a pretty good job at doing that. And now if you can start opening it up with a little passing and start loosening that defense up, that can help your whole offensive scheme.
So JF will snap it, and what will be the final play of the third quarter if it's a run play. Game clock shows 15. Snap, it's a misdirection handoff. Following it left side, not much traction at all for Bentley Jones. Back into the heart of the defense. They might give him a yard, and that is how this third quarter will end. A tight defensive affair is what this has become between Jefferson Forest and John Handley on a crisp and getting chillier Saturday afternoon. 10-7, John Handley leads Jefferson Forest after 3 on Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is the place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Jackson on the QB rollout to start the fourth quarter finds a spinning Xander Coleman at the Handley 29, and he spins out of a tackle and lunges down to the 24 between the near side numbers and hash mark for a JF first down as they're knocking on the door of the red zone once again, trailing John Handley 10-7 in the early stages of this crucial fourth quarter.
Wow, what a big play by Xander Coleman, finding the open space right there and being able to make that snag from the throw from Jackson.
Jackson will call for the shotgun snap against a four-man front. Two of the linemen are down. Snap, Jackson breaks through the tackle of the 20, spins down from the 17. They might even give him the 16. Good gain, 7 to 8 yards on first down for JF.
Yeah, they got something working again right here. JF really needs to focus in right here and finish this drive with what they've been doing right now, and the offensive line has been a big help to that. They're having an opportunity now to make a little room for some of these running backs to get some gains like that one right there by Jackson.
Cavaliers trying to show a lot of heart with the injury to Thax Rowland early in the game. He has not returned and will not today. Jackson calls for the shotgun snap, and here we go again. Handkerchiefs fly as a full start is called, and 2nd down and 2 will become 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that is exactly what you cannot be doing anymore now. They cannot afford to lose yardage in any situation. And that 5 yards right there now really is going to change up this play call right here, I think, coming in from Coach Cruz.
So JF will have a little bit of a different call. 2nd and 7 is manageable, but it's not quite the plethora of options of 2nd and 2. Ball now outside of the shallow red zone. It'll be snapped middle of the field at the 21. Cavaliers working left to right in the all white pants, white jerseys. Handoff, Fox into the heart of the Handley defense. Doesn't get much. 3rd and long coming up.
I tell you what, that was the front group right there, and the linebacker. Again, they are just flying around to the football right there, and they had penetration right there. They were in the backfield almost as soon as they were able to make that handoff to Cam Fox, and there was just nothing right in there. Now we're in 3rd and a long 7.
3rd and 7 for JF from the 21. Ball inching closer to the near right side hash mark. Handley facing showing a four-man front, but they have routinely brought linebackers on pressure, and once again, flags come flying in, and JF, another false start, as it looked like Bentley Jones just grabbed his head after knowing he moved.
Well, again, that was Bentley Jones coming in right there, and again, he played JV his whole year, and now he's up here trying to help the varsity, and with an injury right now to Thax Rowland, he was in the game right there.
And he's been in. He's a sophomore, thrust into the line of fire because of the injury to Thax Rowland. And now JF's got it on 3rd down and 12 after it was once 2nd and 2. Couple of false starts. This time it's a snap. Jackson has it, drops back, floats it far side. Miscommunication, incomplete. And JF will have the less desirable 4th and 12 coming up. Still plenty of time with each team in a tight ball game. Handley with 2 timeouts, JF with all 3. 10-7 Judges lead. But what started out as a chance for JF to knock this down, now all of a sudden it looks like they're going to line up and try to go for a game-tying field goal with the wind at their back.
Well, I tell you what, this is the JV kicker that came up and replaced Walker right here, and he has some pretty good foot, so Coach Cruz feels like he may have this in his distance.
Jonas Howard's going to line up for a 43-yarder. The wind is at his back. It has died down a bit, but it's still soft enough. Snap, it's perfect, so is the hold. The kick is partially deflected and incomplete. We'll never know if that had enough. It was a little bit low, and enough of a mitt was on it from Zaire Ford, the sophomore defensive end, and all of a sudden, what started out as a promising potential take the lead or even tie the game drive results in no points, and that's been a theme for JF on these trips up north. It was last year against Sharando, and it has been that way for the game today against John Handley.
Well, I tell you what, another missed opportunity, another opportunity because of penalties that had an effect on them. That slowed down. You had second and less than 3, and you go all the way back on 2 penalties.
Instead, Duncan Hensler will call for the shotgun snap. Jameer Washington might see a heavy dose of him. We do so far. Gets the handoff, cuts to the left side. 25, cuts out to the 28. He's hit before he could get to the first down marker. Pop there, but a good run on first down for the Judges.
Well, what's happened is that zone play to the power side is really starting to be a big play for the Judges as they're able to let that running back Washington just kind of buy in his time until he sees the seam, and then he hits it.
He's a real good, quick one-cut runner for John Handley. He's to the left of Duncan Hensler, the junior quarterback, who's actually been a backup from what they planned this year, but has been a good guider so far. Washington follows left side of the line, bounces off from the 30 out toward the sideline, and with that extra bounce and effort, he gets to the 33 and moves the chains for a first down.
Yeah, first down right there. Judges already 2 plays. That time they ran the exact same play, but they ran it actually back to the weak side. After faking it towards the power side, he kind of came back to the weak side and was able to bounce that outside.
Clock is stagnant at 8:41. It is starting to become a factor for JF, given how difficult points and possessions have been in this game. Snap, it's a handoff to Amari Brown. Tries to turn the corner right side. Spencer Sloan does enough to grab him as Sloan's left arm slowed up Brown and could only get a yard off the right side of the line.
Well, I tell you, Pearson Brooks looked like he was coming through on a blitz that time and almost got through there, but big play right there on the backside from the defensive end position right there with Sloan being able to make that tackle for a short gain.
You hate to say this often, but JF without Thax Rowland, who's not only one of their better wings, he's also one of their better linebackers. And he's out with a leg injury. Snap, this time it's a give to Washington. Sees a cut left side, breaks through it, and up to about the 39 yard line before he's hit. It'll be third and we'll call it about 7 for the Judges.
Yeah, Jamar Washington, big run right there on his own. There wasn't much there. He made most of that happen by himself with a little cutback and juke move to get up there to where he is. And now they're in 3rd and 6 right here. The Cavaliers have to find a way to get a stop.
3rd and 6 for the Judges. Clock under 7.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. Teams can see the play clock as well on the field as it gets to 15 and the game clock at 7:25. Hensler lets it go under 10 seconds. Still gets the offense set. Now is going to call for it on 3rd and 6. Cavaliers showing a 4-man front. Hensler looks to throw off to the left side. Once Yoder, miscommunication and no flags. And it's incomplete, and now it's likely going to be a punting scenario for John Handley. And trust what's worked so well, which has been their defense and some penalties on JF that have stunted the Cavalier drives.
Yeah, good job right there, not letting that receiver get open. Throw was nowhere close by Hensler. Now he's back to do the punting, and this is JF's opportunity here, getting the ball back. They have to make something happen offensively.
Charleston Harris is back at the 30, and it's a snap. Hensler is the punter, and it's blocked. Blocked by JF, and it's fallen on at the 29 of John Handley. And JF might have gotten the big turnover, momentum-shifting play they needed.
Wow, what a great job. Special teams coming through, finally making something happen, able to pressure the middle, get to the punt, block it, and be able to get that football now at the Judges' 29-yard line.
And it is imperative that JF capitalizes right here. This is as good of a field position as you'll get off the blocked punt. It took a while to unfold. 4 Cavaliers were back there. Couldn't even see which one blocked it, and they fell right on it, and they've got it at the John Handley 29 off the blocked punt with 10-7 as the deficit, but they're in Handley territory and a chance to tie or take the lead.
Well, this front line is the one that's got to make this happen. They got to move that front four of the Judges.
7:06 to go. Ball will be snapped in the middle of the field. Cavaliers working left to right. Jackson looks to throw, takes it, steps up, evades the rush now, steps off. 30, 20, not 5, and he slides before getting to the 20, down at the 22.
What a great run right there. He had a lot of open space, able to snake his way through right there and make that run for 7-8 yards right now to get things going here for the Cavaliers. They have the momentum with that block punt. They got to take over, especially with their offensive line.
Coach, he had so much momentum, even you knew he should have taken off and run.
I had some of that old coaching spirit come back in me right there.
We like it. That's why we've got you here. 6:30 to go, fourth quarter. Cavaliers ball, but trailing 10-7, knocking on the door of the red zone once again. Jackson calls for the shotgun snap. It's a four-man Judges rush, and Jackson looks to turn left side, gets to the 20, maybe the 19. Depends on the spot. From our naked eye, he's about a half yard from the first down marker.
Yeah, this is going to be close. I don't know if they're going to give it to him. They need to measure it.
And they'll probably measure, but it looks like it's about a 3.5 yard, and they are not calling for a measurement here. Clock goes under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. JF, you'd also like to preserve all three of the timeouts that they still have, just part of the whole break glass in case of emergency scenario. Trailing 10-7. 3rd down and a half yards. Snap, handoff to Fox, has the first down, barrels and gets his way down to about the 17. Needed a half yard, and he gets about 2.5. The sticks will move.
There we go now. They got some momentum. They got this first down right here. Offensive line should be hopefully getting some good adrenaline, really pumping right here to try to move that front four of the Judges. But again, they still got in the middle right there. Number 20, JoJo Johnson, is continually sneaking up, trying to blitz run.
JF football. They are knocking on the door at John Handley. It's been a scoreless second half. It was 10-7 at the break. That's where we are now. Cavalier ball trying to break the 3-point deficit. Pitch play, Coleman hitting the backfield. Spun, but does a good enough job to lunge forward. Gets about a yard down to the 16. They'll give him maybe a half, second down, and we'll call it a long 9 coming
Well,
up.
I tell you what, that was all number 2 right there. Trent Gomez, one of the captains, absolutely on a missile. Was not in the missed block right there by the wing, caused that to be for a no-gainer.
Will Yoder down on the field for John Handley. Will take the injury timeout. Handley trying to protect a 10-7 lead on Jefferson Forest. 5:03 to go here in the fourth quarter, but the Cavaliers are driving with a second down and 10 from the Handley 16 when we return.
Warm weather means traveling. Hi, I'm Randy Trost from Trost Law with a couple of safety reminders. Always wear your seatbelt. Don't drive distracted or impaired. And remember, it's better to safely arrive a little later than being in an auto accident.
Yeah.
Those things can make a big difference between a fun family trip
Which would have
or a
gotten a
painful
block.
alternative.
Yeah. We've seen
At
those
Trost
little
Law,
things.
I hope you never need our services. But if you do, we're
That's
here
an
to help you.
example of, like,
777
why you're the backup and should pay attention
TrostLaw.com.
in the film room.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Will Yoder, the defensive back and top receiver for John Handley, limps but does come up on his own power and gets back over to the Handley sideline. 5:03 left in the fourth quarter. Jefferson Forest football at the Handley 16 on the right hash mark, trailing 10-7. Back to a working clock, so it's under 5 minutes. Fox goes in motion, play action pass, swing pass to Fox, and it's off his fingertips and incomplete. You just can't have those mistakes, and there have been far too many of them in a playoff game for JF.
Yeah, again, missed opportunity there. Now, if he makes that catch, I feel like he would have made at least 4 or 5 yards before that linebacker got over to him. That would have put him in a positive play position. Now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
And challenge gets a little bigger for JF. They do have all 3 timeouts. It is worth noting because if you have to trust your defense, and so far they've been trustworthy, you might need to start burning those. We'll see if we get to that point. John Handley ball, or JF ball, but trailing at John Handley, 10-7, 4:52 to go. 3rd and 10 from the Handley 16. Snap coming off the right hash. Coleman in motion. Jackson keeps it himself. Barrels his way from the 10. Keeps the legs churning down to the 6, down to the 5 for a JF first down.
Wow, unbelievable. He was hit at least 3 to 4 yards before the yardstick, and they were able to somehow keep the pile going for a first down.
Jefferson Forest knocking on the door. They're now in the deep red zone at the 5-yard line of John Handley.
That might have been the biggest run play of the whole game right there.
Yeah, that is as big as we've seen from Jefferson Forest. The Peyton Jackson run on 3rd and 10 for 11 yards down to the Handley 5. Cavaliers trying to reclaim the lead. They had it early, but have given up 10 unanswered all in the first half, trailing 10-7. Working clock, 4:15, fourth quarter. Snap. Jackson keeps it himself. Burst toward the Impact Church end zone. Cannot quite get there. Down to the 2.
Good push right there. A solid 3-yard run. Put them here at 2nd and 2 right now. And they are smelling blood in the water right here as they are knocking on the door to reclaim this lead at the Judges' home field.
2nd and goal, JF. 3:45 counting down here in the fourth quarter. Neither team is in a rush. If you want to know, John Handley has a 10-7 lead. JF is knocking on the door. Handley with 2 timeouts. Jefferson Forest with all 3. Wind to the back of the Cavaliers, but they're trying to get in the Impact Church end zone. Judges trying to tighten up. It's Jackson and Fox in the backfield. Fox will get it. Fox toward the line. He gets second effort, and he's at about the half-yard line where he stood up, and it'll be 3rd and goal for JF coming up. Goal line stand time here.
Yeah, 2 plays to move the ball basically exactly about 1 yard. The ball is exactly on the 1-yard line right here. They have to put this ball in the end zone.
JF needs the touchdown. They could go for a field goal, but even with the wind at your back, that's been a bit of a mystery for Jefferson Forest. Kicks this season. They are now lining up trying to get into the Impact Church end zone. Once again, it's Jackson and Fox. Backs rolling, not an option. Out, injured early in the game, is not returned. Snap, handoff, Johnson off the left side. He burrows, and is he in, or is there a fumble, or is he down? I think the referees are saying he's down at the half-yard line, and it's 4th down.
Wow, I thought he got across the line of scrimmage from the angle we're looking at from up here.
The referees say no, and now we're approaching the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. A reminder, life doesn't give you a 2-minute warning, which is why a life insurance policy with your Erie Family Life agent, Andy Matthews, might be right for you. Stop by and see him and find out on Waterlick Road in Lynchburg.
Well, yeah, it looks like they're going to have to use a timeout right here. The quarterback's already on the sideline. He hasn't come on yet. They're going to call timeout.
And JF will call the timeout, and that could loom large because of the need to burn or save timeouts if you don't convert. We are in as much of a nip-tuck game as possible. Cavaliers trying to get the close game monkey off their back, and they're trying to get the second round of the playoffs monkey off of their back, as it's been a bugaboo the last couple of years. Losses to Glass, and then kind of a similar situation, a chance to take the lead late at Sharando last year. They couldn't punch it in. Cavaliers have a chance now. It'll be 4th and goal from the 1, but they had to burn one of those timeouts as the clock is now stopped at 1:57 to go in the fourth quarter.
Well, I tell you, we're looking at the football right now. They got a yellow line on the 1-yard line, and the ball is completely over the halfway mark between the 1 and the goal line. It literally looks like the point of the ball is maybe 3 inches from touching the goal line. That's how close that last play was.
And if you're JF, what do you dial up here, Coach? You don't need hardly anything.
Well,
you literally just need the ball to cross the plane, because once it does, it's dead and a touchdown.
The problem is they got their biggest guys all clumped up on that goal line defense right there. That's a lot of beef to try to move right there in that front line.
Here we go. We'll see what JF can do. Out of the gun, it's Jackson. Fox has it. Jackson barrels, and he is into the Impact Church end zone at the U and Judges for the JF touchdown.
Wow, he was the guy to do it. What a great job right there for Jackson, being able to plow through right there and get that touchdown. What a play. That may be the season play of the game, getting that touchdown on that 4th down.
And it is so defining, that play, that you've got 2 players that collided hard on that one. Jaquan Offord, who's the backup defensive tackle, was in there, and one of the Cavalier linemen, we can't even see which one it is down on the far side, because he was going after Offord. And that literally is the definition of giving it their all, as those 2 collided, and it was enough to get Jackson into the Impact Church end zone, and the injured Cavalier is still down on the far side.
Well, the big thing is this conversion, this extra point is big because that forces the judges then to have a touchdown and not a field goal. So this PAT coming right here has big implications on how the rest of this game is going to play out, especially with the judges receiving the ball and going on offense for their last drive.
It was Seth Bell, the left guard for JF, who slammed into the body of Jaquan Offit, who was the starting left guard, but on that play was the defensive tackle, the beef up front for John Handley. Crucial extra point for JF, trying to make it a 4-point lead and nullify a field goal attempt at the end of regulation. Calling for the snap. It's perfect. So is the hold. The kick is up, and it is down the middle, and it's 14-10 Jefferson Forest. Now, can the Cavalier defense hold and get a stop? We will find out. And we have 1:54 to go here in the fourth quarter of Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
VTR in Sports, powered by ESPN Radio. The game is here. NFL action this week kicks off on Thursday with Bills at Texans after Virginia Tech women's basketball. Then Sunday, a tripleheader that kicks off at 12:30 with Colts at Chiefs, Eagles at Cowboys, and the Buccaneers taking on the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Also, Monday Night Football features the matchup between the Panthers traveling out to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers with coverage starting at 7 p.m. Catch all the big games in the NFL on VTR in Sports, powered by ESPN Radio. 93.3 FM, 1320 AM, the VTR in Sports app, and at your smart speaker, open VTR in Sports. Are you sick of missing the big games because greedy corporations are fighting? You never need to worry about ridiculous carriage disputes again by downloading the VTR in Sports app and listen to the best play-by-play featuring Virginia Tech, primetime and NFL, college football, and college basketball games. All the big games, all for free on
Wow, they pulled Walker. It's the other kicker now.
Fight between billionaires. Just download the VTR in Sports app. Stay up to date with every game by visiting
the
VTR in Sports
great.
Facebook page. VTR in Sports, powered by ESPN Radio, 93.3 FM, 1320 AM.
Uh-oh.
VTR in Sports app, and at your smart speaker, open VTR in Sports Lynchburg.
This is
I got another
Jefferson
flag.
Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
After the 1-yard Peyton Jackson touchdown run on 4th and goal, and the ever-crucial extra point that was converted by Jonas Howard, the backup kicker for JF, he drilled the ensuing kickoff down to the Handley 3. They get up to the 33-yard line, now trailing Jefferson Forest 14-10 with $1:45 to go in regulation. But there are multiple flags down on the field, and the referees have a lot of discussions to be had.
Yeah.
And appropriately, it's like they're entering the judges' chambers right now to make these crucial calls.
Yeah, a lot of things going on right here. I don't know what if they're going to have a hold, and then they got a face mask maybe over here on JF. They got a number of things they're trying to work out right here.
Is it a re-kick? Is that what we'll get? We'll have to find out. It seems like they'd be in that scenario. JF's crowd on the far side is now doing their version of the defense chant that John Handley's crowd, where we are, was doing earlier. Referees have implored both sides to get back so they can have this discussion. The jurors don't need any outside influence. Let them do their thing here at the home of the John Handley judges. And it is going to be a hold on Handley. And it looks like it's going to be a personal foul, face mask on JF. And they are nullified, and it'll just be John Handley ball at the 32. So the penalty's offset. It doesn't go backwards, which that's unfortunate for JF, especially because if you don't have a face mask, even if you went to the Impact Church end zone, Handley would have had to start deeper in their territory. They trail by 4 to JF. Snap, handoff to Washington, hit in the backfield, and only gained about 2, fell forward up to the 34. Clock is working under $1:40 to go for John Handley. They trail JF now 14-10, and it is big stop time for JF.
Well, good run right there. A good stop on the run right there. They're trying to run just a draw play right here. They're going to have to start going to the air now.
Keep your eyes peeled open for a deep shot. Nope, it's a handoff to Washington. Turns the left side corner to the 40. He's drugged down from behind. He gets the first down at the 44, but JF is saying that he did stay in bounds. Handley seems to think they might have as well, as they are trying to race back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a snap at the 44 for the judges approaching midfield. And the referees now blow the whistle, and it looks like, I think they're going to say he was down in bounds, and John Handley's going to burn their second timeout. I believe that's what they're signaling. It wasn't quite clear from the judges. It is. John Handley timeout. We'll keep it right here. JF, it's getting a little spicier. Handley's going to snap it 4 yards from midfield, down by 4 with $1:15 to go.
Well, Handley coming up with 2 run plays right from the get-go. I guess because of the timeouts, they felt like they could take some shots, maybe running it, thinking that they were going to pass the ball. They might be in a pass-type defense, and they have moved the ball on those 2 runs, but they have to get in the end zone. This is no field goal position. They have to get in the end zone here. They got 1 timeout left in their pocket.
Cavaliers need a big defensive stop. Handley, I'm sure they'll go to the air at some point. Their bigger named receiver, Yoder, down to the left side hash mark. They'll snap it 1st and 10. They are looking to throw over to the right side. It's an out pattern. It's caught on the far side at the 49-yard line and pushed out of bounds on the far side by Xander Coleman. Christian Dingus, and he's pushed out of bounds there, gained about 6.
Yeah, Christian Dingus running an out route right there. Ended up being about a 5-yard, 6-yard out route. Good throw. That's a long throw right there for the quarterback. So number 10 for Hensler is showing some power and strength in that arm throw.
1:09 to go in the 4th quarter. Judges ball trailing Jefferson Forest 14-10. They're in Cavalier territory at the JF 49. The 2nd and 5 snap, play fake. Washington throws it across the middle, and it's tipped and caught. Caught by Dingus, breaks through a couple of attackers and inside the 30, down to the 28. Xander Coleman was with them, but Dingus skied up and made the grab at 6'3".
Wow, that was a heck of a catch. That is an above-average catch for a high school player. Dingus going up one-handed, snagging that out of the air and bringing it down.
Cavaliers need a defensive stop. Handoff to Washington. Follows blockers left side. Breaks through a tackle at the 20, and he's brought down there. 1 timeout left for the judges. Clock shows 44, 43, 42, and it's a 1st down. And do the judges spin their timeout? No, they don't have to. It's a fresh set of downs at the 18. Well, playoff football, you're getting your money's worth here. Hensler's going to call for it. Washington to his right. Running play is an option, and it is a run to Washington off the left side. Tackled in the backfield. Brought down by Bryson Spano, and it's probably going to force the final timeout for the judges, and they do spend it with 26 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Trailing but driving in a 14-10 game.
Wow, what a huge tackle right there for the Cavaliers. Bryson Spano with a blocker on him, able to somehow reach through and grab the legs right there of Washington and take him down for a 2-yard loss.
No one said it was going to be easy for JF. They need to come up with a big defensive stop. They have the lead 14-10 against John Handley, but the judges on their home field are driving into the wind at the 21 of JF. 26 seconds left in the 4th quarter, and they just spent, John Handley did, their final timeout.
Well, that's the big thing. They are now out of timeout, so they cannot stop the clock. So anything short of a 1st down or out of bounds, that clock continues to run.
Cavaliers getting their last set of defensive calls in from the far sideline. Referees let the coaches get back to their sideline before saying the ball is ready to be snapped to Duncan Hensler. Washington to his right. Hensler looks to throw. It's a QB rollout. He's wanting a back shoulder throw to the far side. It's up toward the air, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that was
played. It's incomplete.
Wow, that was nothing more than just a throw up. Anybody's balls could have had that right there. And Xander Coleman mistimed his jump. Otherwise, he would have had an interception.
Instead, it'll be a 3rd and 13 coming up for the judges with 19 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Can JF get the big defensive stop they need? John Handley trying to shuffle in personnel. They got 20 on the play clock. There is no timeout left for them to reset or stop the clock. They burned through all 3 of them. JF, if they need to, they could spin one. They've got 2 remaining. 3rd and 13 at the JF 21. Snap coming off the left hash mark. It's a 4-receiver set. Yoder the lone to the left, 3 to the right. Hensler calls for it, and flags come in, and it's a false start on John Handley.
Wow, things are really tightening up right here. Now they got a trip formation to the right. They got their best receiver singled up back here, number 7 to the left. That's Yoder. I look for them to eventually try to get him one-on-one and just throw the high jump ball into the end zone right here.
We'll see what's dialed up. A reminder, a pass interference penalty is 15 yards in high school, much like college. So if you throw it to the end zone and it's an interference, it does not go to the 1 or 2 like in the pros. 4 receivers set. Now Yoder split wide to the right, and JF wants to spend a timeout after the change in formation. And probably wise, there was a little bit of a different look that John Handley showed. JF has a timeout. they spend it before a 3rd and 18 snap coming up.
Well, the big thing they did was they switched up Yoder, number 7, and number 24, Dings. They switched those guys to different sides, which they have not done that the whole time. Normally, Yoder is always on the left of the offense, and Christian Dinger's on the right, and that time they actually flipped them.
It is as tight of a game as you have seen before. Last year, Sharando came up with a big defensive stand against Jefferson Forest late, and the Cavaliers could not emerge. This time, JF's defense, it's in their hands. Can they come up with a big defensive stand and preserve a 14-10 lead? Or can John Handley answer? We have 19 seconds left to determine that.
Well, the big thing right here is these front 4 really got to come get the quarterback right now and pressure him to get the ball off soon.
Hensler calls for the shotgun snap. He takes it, he steps up, he floats it across the middle, and picked off by Jack Lee over on the far side, 30. He slides down to the 25-yard line, and JF will kneel it out and get a 14-10 win and a monkey off their back.
Wow, what a huge, great play. Just standing in center field. Jack Lee just laying back in center field. And what happened was for the quarterback, Hensler, he was trying to hit one of the seam routes down the middle, forgetting that they had a middle safeties right there. He threw it right into Jack Lee.
And Jack Lee came up with the play of the year for the JF Cavaliers on that interception. On a day where Dax Rowland, who has been the heart and soul in terms of grit and determination, was injured early after a big run. He goes down. Now Peyton Jackson goes down on the left knee. Ball is dropped to the field turf. The final 5 seconds will tick off the clock, and the JF Cavaliers will set up a trip for us, Coach. Black Friday shopping in Danville next week.
Wow, regional championship. That has been a long time coming right now for JF, and what a great team facing adversity in this game with one of their best players going down, able to finally block a punt, get some advantage, dig it down, 4th down, put it in the end zone, and Coach Cruz and his team, his coaches, what an amazing way. What a great win coming up here on a Saturday.
This is as big of a moment for Jefferson Forest, Coach. And, you know, I don't know if I should have done more to apply the broadcaster jinx or did what is supposed to be done, but this has been the bugaboo for JF the last couple of years, is getting through this second-round matchup. 2 years ago, they were 9-0. They lost to LCA in the regular season finale, kind of had a nip-tuck win, ironically, against GW Danville in the first round. And then after beating EC Glass in their regular season matchup, they lost to Glass at home in the second round. Last year, JF, a late loss in the season to LCA, meant they had to go on the road to Sharando, and they got close, 5 turnovers, and still could not get to the Impact Church end zone in a 1-score game where they were stopped late. And it felt like as this season wore on, the loss in the close game to LCA, the loss to Heritage in the close game, the JF, even with the tension early against EC Glass last week, that it's what do we need to do to get over the momentum? And on a day when the heart and soul of Jefferson Forest, one of the senior captains, Dax Rowland, goes down with a leg or ankle injury on the first drive of the game for JF and does not return, they show so much grit and determination. They pitch a shutout in the second half, and they got the big touchdown on 4th and goal from the 1, where it suffered a bit of an injury on the play for JF, but they fought their way through and kind of get a chance to now exhale and really celebrate this moment.
Yeah, what a great job, great win. Again, they did not reclaim this lead right here. They did not reclaim the lead until less than 2 minutes, right at about the 2-minute mark of that 4th down. When they were able to finally punch that thing in. Wow, what an incredible statement of just character, of endurance, coaches, players, everybody. Nobody's happier than Coach Cruz to get this monkey off his back, to get this win and be moving on, to play a team that, again, they are familiar with, GW Danville. We are very familiar with that. We're going back to our home turf area. Yeah, we're going to have to go to Danville. But let me tell you what, they got as good a chance to win next week's game again.
Coach, first of all, is there something to, I've heard it from JF fans before. You are at Jefferson Forest, and obviously you've played, so you have the on-field and coaching perspective. Was this second round kind of something that loomed in the back for JF, got bigger as the season wore on, maybe played a bit of a role in the penalties and the tension earlier today, but they found a way to fall through, and now a moment the Cavaliers can exhale and maybe play more relaxed next week against GW.
Well, again, even last week or last year, faced with this same dilemma, they had to make the road trip up here to Winchester, played Sharando, really was probably the better team. They had a lot of turnovers, ended up losing that game. And then to come in here to this amazing field, what a great team, what
phenomenal.
a great facilities, and they just endured. They endured. The biggest thing to me was they endured through Thax Rowland's injury. I mean, I'm telling you, he is the heart and soul, not just offensively at the wing with his ability to block, but really probably as the best linebacker and run stopper on the team. They lost a lot, and we're still able to pull off the win right now.
Coach, I mean, there's no way to know what the leg injury is going to be. If it's a high ankle sprain, maybe you can find a way to get back next week. You can kind of take it easy, do some yoga, all the little treatments you could. If it's a severe injury, obviously it's a totally different deal for Thax Rowland. But, another thing, I don't know if we'll know this right now, but him going into the locker room at halftime, even on crutches, what type of an impact can that be on the rest of the Cavaliers and getting them to show the fight where the defense didn't yield a point to John Handley, including a couple of Judges' trips deep into JF territory. And when the Cavaliers needed to buckle down, kind of looked like they maybe got to the Impact Church end zone on a 3rd and goal run, but did not. They needed to bow up. They manned up against this man of a front as big as it was for John Handley, and they barreled their way into the Impact Church end zone for what was the decisive game-sealing touchdown.
Well, again, it just goes back to character. It goes back to all the hard hours you put in during the summer, in the heat, all the hours in the weight room. I mean, all of that comes together at a point just like this that happened this second half, where they were able to hold it together. They were able to continue on, to persevere under stress, under injuries of your best player. They overcame all that, and that has a lot to do with character, and that has a lot to do with the coaches and these players, and they did it. So congratulations to the Cavaliers.
They earned every bit of it. They have a great chance against GW Danville next week. By no means is it going to be easy. It's going to be different. Maybe not as physical of a defensive game that we saw today, but I mean, there's athleticism at GW. That's been the case for literally decades, and that's going to be a different dimension for the Cavaliers to encounter. But they found a way to get the monkey off their back and battle through this adversity. We're going to do a little differently. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to get some stats. We'll get our Forest Youth Athletic Association offensive and defensive players of the game, as well as our Crossroads Family Dentistry Made You Smile play of the game. Then we'll send it to Ty Tracy for scores, updates, and a recap. But because we have the great Bob Alvis from the Sports Buffet podcast as our statistician, we have to make use of his great effort joining us today. We will do that when we return here on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com. Cavaliers 14, Judges 10.
VTR in Sports, powered by ESPN Radio. The games play here. NFL action this week kicks off on Thursday with Bills and Texans after Virginia Tech women's basketball. Then Sunday, a triple-header that kicks off at 12:30 with Colts at Chiefs, Eagles at Cowboys, and the Buccaneers taking on the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Also, Monday Night Football features the matchup between the Panthers traveling out to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers with coverage starting at 7 p.m. Catch all the big games in the NFL on VTR in Sports, powered by ESPN Radio. 93.3 FM, 1320 AM, the VTR in Sports app, and at your smart speaker, open VTR in Sports.
It's a Black Friday special for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com. After the long bus ride to Winchester to defeat John Handley, JF makes a shorter trip to GW Danville with a region championship on the line. Your Central VA flooring kickoff show starts at 6:30 on the Virginia Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF football is also presented by Apple Auto Glass, Clyde Smith Plumbing, Impact Church, Magic City Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram Bedford, and the Concrete Wizard.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
14-10, Jefferson Forest Cavaliers exercise some demons and get that monkey off of their back. And I don't know what's left of my voice. It probably sounds absolutely hideous. I know I could hardly add much inflection at the end of the game, Coach, so I apologize for that. But ultimately, JF, they had the inflection when they needed it. They came up with a big offensive play on 4th and goal from the 1. They came up with a big defensive stop. And maybe I'm oversimplifying this, but when you look at this matchup, JF's ability to hang in there in the trenches, it wasn't pretty. There are going to be some adjustments you have to make, especially if Dax Rowland cannot go next week. But for Jefferson Forest, they showed that there's a lot of fight, and it's a big victory for JF, no doubt about it.
Oh, no, huge victory. I mean, again, Coach Cruz and his tenure at JF, this is where he's been working to get to, and to see the players right now running over after their meeting with the coaches to their teammates, to their parents, to the fans that have made it up here. What a great feeling.
Coach, I will give you an option for our Forest Youth Athletic Association offensive and defensive players of the game. You could put Peyton Jackson into that category because this was not a game where we saw a lot of offensive plays. They were bleeding clock on both sides, JF and John Handley. JF had it for 30 plays. Handley had it for 20. Do you go with Peyton Jackson? It was only 8 carries for 44 yards. Those are not gaudy stats by any means, a little over 5 yards a tote, but he got the most important yard of the season for JF on his 1-yard run to the Impact Church end zone. Or do you give it to the JF offensive line because they cleared the way, although that might not make FYA happy because they're going to have to be 5 more awards handed out thanks to us, and I'll apologize in advance.
Well, I tell you, the offensive line, Peyton Jackson did a great job. He had big runs when he had to, but again, those runs didn't happen without the offensive line doing their job against a really good front four of the Judges. I was really impressed at how good the Judges did up front, probably as good as any team for the most part they played all year up front, especially with the Mike linebacker for the Judges, number 20, JoJo. They were probably one of the toughest fronts they played the whole year, and they did enough to get the win.
So you going with the offensive line?
I'm going with the offensive line.
Fair enough. That's who gets the call, Coach. Sorry, FYAA, but Coach's call gets it done. Defensively, am I oversimplifying it? He had 2 interceptions today, including the game-sealing one, but Jack Lee coming up with the interception and then wisely just sliding down so JF could kneel it out at the end. It wasn't the prettiest, but JF hung in there throughout the entire day, and when you needed some plays on the back end of that defense because Dax Rowland, who is normally there that plugs the hole, was not the guy that could obviously come on with his leg injury. Am I off base in saying Jack Lee is a deserving candidate defensively?
No, he's a deserving candidate for sure, especially because, with them playing the one high safety, playing a cover 3, him having all that and doing a solid job. I mean, defensively, everybody did a great job. The front did a good job shutting down most of the run. The linebackers did a good job. The corners did a good job. I mean, that's some of their biggest playmakers were their 2 receivers, number 24 and number 7. And actually, Xander Coleman, along with number 2 right there for us,
Gabe
Barnett. I mean, they literally shut down those 2 big receivers because they were out on the edges having to hold down their spots right there. So really, I'm in favor of giving it to all 3 of them. Be honest with you, I'm going all in, man. We're going big for FYAA.
Yeah.
I'd say the 2 corners and Jack Lee from the safety position, able to hold down the throwing game of the Judge.
What's the opposite of a letter of appreciation? It's a letter of depreciation. They might be sending us to court here at John Handley. We'll be in the judges' chambers pretty soon if we're giving them 3 awards. But the secondary really did a great job for JF. I think you bring up a great point, though. This is a Handley team that likes to throw the football, and they bottled up Will Yoder all day. Handley's been a great throwing team for much of the year, and JF really took that away, and they gave up a little bit in the running game, but it was kind of bend but don't break. And ultimately, the only touchdown JF gave up was on that short field in the early portion of this game. Otherwise, the secondary did a great job. I think you did a great job, Coach, even though FYA might be sending us a cease and desist letter after this one.
Well, hey, you know what? We need to give credit. I mean, I wish we could give everybody an award because everybody who stepped on this field today for the Cavaliers, really held their own and did what they could to bring this victory around. So everybody should get credit. But, yeah, we'll just name those that got it.
Crossroads Family Dentistry made you smile. Plays of the game. Yes, I'm going to cheat here, Coach. I don't know what will happen to me. Maybe Judges Chambers coming up. You might not be a fan of it. I might know honor code violation for cheating on this one. But I'm going with 2 of them. The Peyton Jackson 4th and goal touchdown run is the one that gave JF the lead. But the interception at the end also for Jefferson Forest, just because you didn't know what was going to happen. You needed that one final exclamation play. And how often in these type of games, you just need somebody or somebodies to step up. We gave the offensive line the award, but you could talk about Peyton Jackson himself running it in on that 4th and goal as one play. And then defensively, we don't usually do both, but I think we will today. You got to give it to Jack Lee for that second interception.
Yeah, and really not even Jackson's 4th and 1 touchdown run. It was the play a couple before that on the series before that when it was 3rd and 10, and he came up with that run where he got hit about 4 yards short and was able to keep driving and get the defenders going backwards and got the first down on that 3rd down and 11. That really kept that drive going, which put him there in the end zone on that last play.
And so Jefferson Forest gets the victory. Coach, we've said a lot about what this game means for Jefferson Forest. Can't tell you how excited it is for JF. It'll be a long bus ride back and long car rides, I'm sure, for some of the players with their families. But, I mean, this has got to be as great of a feeling of exhaling, even though it's a weird week. You got to keep that in mind. It's a shorter week, but Coach Cruz has talked about this all the time of wanting the privilege of practicing on Thanksgiving, where you have to practice the day before because you've got a Friday night football game. JF has now entered that territory, but they do have to find a way to turn this around. And I would imagine it's celebrate tonight, celebrate tomorrow. Maybe everybody can congregate at Impact Church the way that they're congregating on the field here at John Handley High School. But then on Monday, you do have to turn the page because you want to keep this thing going.
Yeah, no, it's going to be buckled down right here. You know, it's the holiday week coming up for Thanksgiving, but for football, it's going to be, you know, as much or more intensity as ever during the whole week because now you're in, again, the biggest game against Danville with the regional championship on the line. So, yeah, the coaches got their work cut out. They'll have them in early Thanksgiving, get the practice out of the way, let them get home and eat and get settled in for Friday's trip down to GW Danville.
So that does it for us, Coach. Before we go, is there anything else you would like to add and get to our break and then let Ty Tracy take over with some scores around the region and kind of get us a holistic overview of what's going on in high school and college football over the last 24 hours?
Well, what a great fun trip up here to Winchester. It's always better to enjoy the ride home with a victory. We did go by the new Buc-ee's. Looking forward to maybe stopping at Buc-ee's and getting a big barbecue sandwich to celebrate.
You're going to talk me into this, huh?
We're good to go. Thank you all for listening.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for listening. We'd be remiss if we didn't also say thank you to all of our great sponsors. They're the ones that really make it possible for us to come up here. Andy Matthews Insurance, Apple Auto Glass, Central VA Flooring, Clyde Smith Plumbing, Crossroads Family Dentistry, FYAA, Rick Kennedy and his team at Impact Church, Magic City Auto Group, Meineke Car Care, the Concrete Wizard, and Trost Law. They're the ones that put their resources together and make it feasible for us to come up here. By the way, if you know of anybody that wants to promote Black Friday sales or Small Business Saturday or Cyber Monday, send them our way, fastlaneedlane@gmail.com. or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you've got my or Coach Kennedy's number, you can send it our way as well. We're always open for more sponsors, but the ones we've had, we are so thankful for. They allow us to come up here and with Coach Kennedy, with Bob Alvis, who was our statistician today, gracious enough to work with us behind the scenes and give us a little more color and context to that broadcast. We say so long from John Handley High School. It's a long trip coming back up to the Lynchburg area or back down to the LBG in Forest, Virginia. It'll be a difficult day speaking with my family and friends tomorrow because I don't know what voice I'll have left after today. But for Coach Kennedy, for Bob Alvis, for Ty Tracy back in our studio, we say so long from John Handley High School, where Jefferson Forest gets the big second-round monkey off their back. They knock off John Handley 14-10 and move on to a Black Friday 6:30 p.m. Central VA Flooring kickoff show date at GW Danville. When we return, Ty Tracy will have your scores from around the region after this.
It's a Black Friday special for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com. After the long bus ride to Winchester to defeat John Handley, JF makes a shorter trip to GW Danville with a region championship on the line. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show starts at 6:30 on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF football is also presented by Apple Auto Glass, Clyde Smith Plumbing, Impact Church, Magic City Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram Bedford, and the Concrete Wizard.
It's easy to forget we've got a lot to be thankful for. A gorgeous place to live, friendly people, and the freedom to be our best. Apple Auto Glass wants to remind you of how wonderful things still are and how fortunate we are. And of course, when you need to fix a crack in your windshield, side window, or mirror, you can trust Apple Auto Glass. When you call Apple Auto Glass, you'll speak with Harold or one of his associates, not some mystery man from an 800 number. So take time, give thanks, and when you need to fix your glass, call Apple Auto Glass, Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg.
It's the perfect time to take your car to Meineke to make sure your engine starts perfectly this year. Whether you need tires, brakes, engine repairs, or simply an oil change, Meineke has you covered with certified technicians, free digital e-inspections with pictures and videos, and financing options. They're there to not only help you start your engine, but keep it running smoothly all year long. They're your one-stop shop for car care needs. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
It's here, the Fall Spectacular at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford. Get 0% for 72 months on 2025 Ram 1500s, or take 10% off MSRP and save up to $13,500. Drive off today in a Wrangler Sport and save up to $6,000 off MSRP. Don't miss the Fall Spectacular sales event at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford, 1750 Independence Boulevard, MagicCityBedford.com. Financing with approved credit. See dealer for details. Offers end 10/31/25.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking at unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos. This past week in the Fast Lane, we got unique perspective on Virginia Tech naming James Franklin their new head football coach. David Cunningham and Chris Coleman of TechSideline.com. Uncle Luke, high school football coach down in Miami, who's had players recruited by James Franklin, and former NFL quarterback Ryan Lee, who was with James Franklin when Franklin was an assistant coach at Washington State. Hear it all, Fast Lane Ed Lane, where you listen to podcasts. Stay connected, Fast Lane Ed Lane, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and join us Monday, 5 to 6 p.m., VTR and Sports app, and 93.3 FM.
One of the many things I'm thankful for this year is InsaneRadioDeals.com, because the best deals are all there for you. Liberty Flames football tickets, InsaneRadioDeals.com. Gift cards to Oliver's on Rivermont, Caribbean Jerk Pod, JD's Cafe, downtown Cairo, InsaneRadioDeals.com. Great deals just in time for the holiday season at InsaneRadioDeals.com. Head to the site right now before they run out.
This is Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football postgame show presented by TrustLaw.com. I'm Todd Tracy. Now here are some some scores from yesterday's game, as next Friday GW Danville JF will play on Black Friday, and after the win Jefferson Forest had against John Handley will go down to GW for the 4A Region D regional championship. Heritage LCA will play next Friday as Heritage beat Turner Ashby 35-14 and LCA beat Wilson Memorial 22-6. Magna Vista will play against Lower Botetourt next Friday as Magna Vista beats Carroll County 64-28 and Lower Botetourt beat Waynesboro 35-14. And we have Gretna versus Glenvar as Gretna beat Floyd County 56-55, excuse me, everyone. Alta Vista lost against Buffalo Gap last night 52-29. Heritage beat Patrick Henry 28-25. Highland Springs beat William Fleming 37-7. That is your last night's high school scores, and as our VTRN sports for today and Sunday football, as right now the game's still going between the Miami Hurricanes versus the Virginia Tech Hokies as our first game, as the new game, but right now Miami is up against Virginia Tech 27-17. Then later on Later on, we got the USC Trojans versus the Oregon Ducks as kickoff starts at 3:30. Cover starts at 3. BYU Cougars versus the Cincinnati Bearcats as cover starts at 7:30. Kickoff starts at 8. As I said, begin for today as the Miami Hurricanes versus the Virginia Tech Hokies, as that game right now is still going on towards the end of the game with a minute left, a minute 50 seconds left, excuse everyone, with Miami's up 27-17. Then later on, we got the USC Trojans versus the Oregon Ducks with cover starts at 3 o'clock. Kickoff starts at 3:30. Then we have the BYU Cougars versus the Cincinnati Bearcats with cover starts at 7:30. Kickoff starts at 8. Then tomorrow at VTR NFL Sunday with triple header, we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs with cover starts at 12:30. Kickoff starts at 1. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys with cover starts at 4. Kickoff starts at 4:25 p.m. Then we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the LA Rams with cover starts at 7:40. With kickoff starts at 8:20 p.m. As I say again, the Indianapolis Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs kickoff starts at 1. Kickoff starts at 1. Cover starts at 12:30. The Philadelphia Eagles versus Dallas Cowboys with cover starts at 4. Kickoff starts at 4:25. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the LA Rams with cover starts at 7:20. Excuse me, 7:20. Then kickoff starts at 8:20. Now for some scores. So scores for some college scores right now. As I said before, Miami's up against Virginia Tech 27-17. Tie ball game between Washington State and James Madison as a 17-17 ball game. The Old Dominion versus Georgia Southern. Right now, the score is 45-3 ODU. Then we have SMU versus, excuse me, everyone. We have Richmond versus William Mary, as right now that score is as a tie ball game between Richmond and William Mary. Then the ACC matchup between SMU and Louisville, as right now, as SU beats Louisville 38-6. So those all your scores for today and yesterday's scores from last night. Now, like I said before, we got another game next Friday as Jefferson Forest will travel down to GW Danville to take on the GW Danville Eagles. So that's going to be the game for next weekend, the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday, like Ed say, on a Black Friday game. So as I sign off tonight, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers post-game show and the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers game against John Handley. I am Todd Tracy for today. We'll return to our regular local programs on WIQO 100.9 FM. I'm Todd Tracy. I'll see y'all next Friday on Black Friday.
It's the perfect time to take your car to Meineke to make sure your engine starts perfectly this year. Whether you need tires, brakes, engine repairs, or simply an oil change, Meineke has you covered with certified technicians, free digital e-inspections with pictures and videos, and financing options. They're there to not only help you start your engine, but keep it running smoothly all year long. They're your one-stop shop for car care needs. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
One of the many things I'm thankful for this year is InsaneRadioDeals.com, because the best deals are all there for you. Liberty Flames football tickets, InsaneRadioDeals.com. Gift cards to Oliver's on Rivermont, Caribbean Jerk Pod, JD's Cafe, downtown Cairo, InsaneRadioDeals.com. Great deals just in time for the holiday season at InsaneRadioDeals.com. Head to the site right now before they run out.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos. It's a Black Friday special for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com. After the long bus ride to Winchester to defeat John Handley, JF makes a shorter trip to GW Danville with a region championship on the line. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show starts at 6:30 on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF Football is also presented by Apple Auto Glass, Clyde Smith Plumbing, Impact Church, Magic City Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram Bedford, and the Concrete Wizard. This past week in the Fast Lane, we got unique perspective on Virginia Tech naming James Franklin their new head football coach. David Cunningham and Chris Coleman of TechSideline.com. Uncle Luke, high school football coach down in Miami, who's had players recruited by James Franklin, and former NFL quarterback Ryan Lee, who was with James Franklin when Franklin was an assistant coach at Washington State. Hear it all, Fast Lane Ed Lane, where you listen to podcasts. Stay connected, Fast Lane Ed Lane, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and join us Monday, 5 to 6 p.m. VTR and Sports app and 93.3 FM.
Just cooperate. We won't have to go into these cities, but if it's a sanctuary city and you're going to protect